Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 14 of the Relic Runners. I am your DM, GM. You may hear some people refer to me as CA or Christian. Either is fine. One of my players has volunteered to give the recap of the previous session for today. But before that, we will have the players' highlights as per usual, and we'll start with you, A.
My highlight was a little bit of PvP between the monsters at the beginning.
Let them fight. Well, that's fair. That's fair. We will go to Robot next.
Our highlight was like this unplanned like synergy between how I was playing Pip and the things that I didn't know were going to be presented later in the dungeon, and how it slowly built up to Pip getting worse and worse in the mental state. It was just fantastic, culminating in a very messy kill.
Accurate. PTSD actually stands for Pip Trauma. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Pip Trauma saves the day!
Yeah, Pip Trauma saves the day!
And the kill's kind of with the question mark.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. Speaking of fair, Sam, you're next.
I guess my highlight would be that we briefly brought up a certain dragon book series just before we found a copy so that Rumpus could see for himself in all its glory.
The joys of reading, everybody. And last but not least, bio.
My favorite part was Gaius fervently trying to get the robots, the constructs to attack him, and the words that he was using inadvertently making Pip's PTSD experience all the worse.
All right.
I just wanted to help my friend.
Sometimes help is actually spelled HARM.
It's still a 4-letter word.
It's still a 4-letter. Yeah, you're right. It's still a 4-letter word. It starts with an H. What's the difference?
It ends with a fuck.
I was about to say, fuck's another 4-letter word.
It's sure my favorite 4-letter word. I have to do my best not to say it sometimes. All right. I think we are good for player highlights. So, Robot, why don't you take us away with a recap of last session?
Okay, so we opened as we began our delve into the sewers, meeting with Rumpus, and we got our lanterns and lamps out and torches, and tried to stick to the pavement. Though, given the weird alchemical runoff that we saw, it started to get hard later on to do that. We had gas masks and to keep ourselves breathing down there, and talked a bit about, like what goes on down here. What do they usually clean out on the way down? And as we found out, where Rumpus definitely became much more thankful of the cleaning teams when we saw the monsters that are fighting each other and us on our way to the lab. After fighting them and having a bit of a struggle with that, especially from Pip, we had a brief moment of respite in the pipe that we had climbed. Talked a bit about, he asked again, why are we doing this? And had our various answers before eventually moving on and drilling through the concrete. We entered the lab and, we got a little more backstory from Rumpus and the dragons and all that sort of stuff. We found out a lot before we even started digging into the mystery, just from that. And we met with the dwarf who was pretending to be a guard, and I've forgotten his name. I'm sure it's here somewhere.
Nish Metalfall.
Yeah, Nish Metalfall. And he basically told us to shut up because we kept making a lot of noise. And we tried not to make noise, but as we found, there is a very heavy table made of stone, and it's made a lot of noise when we pulled a valve. And as we found, there were several other valves that we need to find. So we started to go about looking at, what happened here, dwelled over it a little bit, and figured out what the fire, where it started, and started to theorize a little more about what could have happened here as we started to find the different parts of the puzzle. Eventually, we did open it after much theorizing and talking about Rumpus and Rufus. And we went down, and we found that it was a very different kind of lab, much more technologically advanced, for lack of a better word. Many constructs attacked us on the way through it, spiders and things very similar to Pip. Pip did not have a good time, to put it lightly. And I don't want to ramble for like half an hour, so I'll just try and summarize a little more here. We went through the dungeon, fought many constructs, had many trauma, and eventually made our way after a few doors with interesting answers to their quizzes, and some more rushed than others, to a final room where Shush had a little moment with his patron about his quest, while the rest of us went to find the ultimate fate of Rufus. And as we were looking into that, we were attacked by a rather large construct, which we all fought and strategized to beat. And Pip continued to have a very bad time. And we did win after much struggle. I think none of us are looking very good right now as far as wounds. And we last left off with the conspiracy board that we had looked at and found a lot more information about the Geth cause, the matriarchy, and also the construct, once we defeated it, knows all of our faces to whoever its master is. And now... we gotta get the hell out. We're taking its head for more information, and one little notable thing I forgot to mention that might be relevant was the clue to the secret room was a familiar book that our dragon friend was reading. So maybe he's more on our side than we thought. Who knows? I think that's most stuff. A lot happened, and I don't want to sit here for an hour telling everything. Go watch this session.
and I'd agree with that. Go watch the previous session. Last session was a real bombshell session. Today we'll probably have some. Probably be a lot of processing that. But yeah, I liked that recap. I'll go ahead and give you 30 experience.
Works for me. Nice.
Also, bombshell is definitely a word for it.
All right, let me get the music started here. All right, so when we last left the Relic Runners, they were currently in the deepest depths of the labs of one Rufus Creevil. Unfortunately, after information, they now know at least one thing due to Nish contacting Rumpus. They are wanted criminals. Kill on sight. Alright, currently you guys are in the deepest depths of the lab, in the room where you defeated the H4 infiltrator. You have currently removed its head. Is there anything else you would like to do in this room before you attempt to leave this lab?
Loot the body.
I would like now. I knew this was coming. So what I would like you to do,
because you asked me and I said it in the chat.
What I would like you to do is I need a DC 15 survival using intelligence.
Good lord.
Oh boy.
Hey guys.
He would assist. Or
Sounded like Sam was trying to say something too?
Yeah, I'll let Sam.
I was just saying, wouldn't investigation then make more sense?
Nope.
Oh.
I mean, I'm proficient in survival, even if intelligence isn't great, so I can help.
I mean, I assume. Okay, here's how I'm gonna flavor this, just so if anyone wants to help, they can. Pip's probably ignoring the head for a moment, and he's like digging through the remains, being like, "Is there anything in this thing that could help us? We got to find something." And he's just like obsessively rummaging through it. So yeah, if anyone can help, then that would make sense. I think at that point.
I like digging through old things. I'll help.
Yeah. So I don't know who the main actor here is at that point then, but yeah.
I think still you with
Okay.
providing assistance.
Makes sense. Okay, so survival, advantage. I don't know how to query the intelligence.
Okay, you can't query the intelligence, but what I would do is just ask around first, because just to give yourself the best chance. Who has the highest? Who is proficient in survival, and who has the highest intelligence? Because
right, so mine would be 3.
So yeah,
Mine would be 3 because it would just be switching survival over.
all right.
I still don't understand this concept.
Samuel's would be 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so
She's
like I said, Pip said out loud like what he's trying to do. So
roll 1d20 plus 5.
Twice.
advantage.
Oh, with twice because you're getting help with it.
Okay. Add 5. That's a...
that would be a 24. Jesus fuck.
Pretty good.
All right, I'll go ahead and
Well,
get
that's
to this.
not what I meant to do there, but okay.
I mean, it
That's
works.
2d20.
Just 2d20. All right. So, I would also like to point out that it was said, I think in between session, that you guys are also gathering up all the conspiracy theory notes as well that were pulled. That were,
And the letters.
oh, and the letter that was the unopened letter that was still on the table.
It makes perfect sense, honestly. Pip and Kelly would be shoving the shit in the bag and maybe talking about what else they could find.
Okay, so because that DC was so high, because that success was so high, I essentially had this on a tiered list of what you would get, but because you succeeded by so much, I can say this. So, who is assisting Callie? Just so I'm can properly.
I think the point was it was Pip wanting to
All right,
do it.
yeah,
So.
all right. So, Pip, you kind of you understand at least a slight bit of your own anatomy. You've had to patch up yourself more than enough times. I think that's what makes that a little fair.
Yeah.
Callie, however, is a little bit better at the whole disassembling things without breaking them. You saw the way that she took apart that manticore, after all. So, thinking about it, and recognizing your own kind of limitations, you call Callie over, and I'll let you guys kind of roleplay that out a bit.
The joys of mage hand flavor.
Yeah, so like having helped with, or I guess held the magic bag open, helping putting the conspiracy stuff away. You know, he goes to Callie. So I was trying to take a look at that construct over there. I think we can maybe get something out of it. I don't know, maybe the poison, or maybe I don't know. It had some kind of thing on it. It's just something. We need to get something. I don't want just the head. There's got to be more to it. It needs anything that can help us at this point. Yeah. Come over here. And he would go, and do what we said with.
And she'll basically follow with them, and just like the areas he kind of points to the likelihood of, like where the likelihood of something to be stored. She uses Mage Hand to kind of delicately adjust things from the inside to kind of try to release it.
All right, and I like that. So, with what is essentially a 24, this is what you harvest from the H4 Infiltrator, and I'm going to type it in chat as well. You harvest 1 poison canister from the H4 Infiltrator. You manage to salvage its blade arm, which will count as a greatsword, and you scavenge its dampening technology. So, I put that in chat for you. And I will tell you weights for these as well. So,
I got big strength in the bag of holding. It should be okay carrying it. Actually, I think the bag would rip before Pip does, which is maybe something I should keep conscious of.
I just need to look one thing up.
I mean, eventually we'll make it back to the Il Cuckoo, wherever they are.
They can't carry that much.
I know where they are.
It's part of the problem.
Well,
And,
you know, to get it to a place to unload.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
weighs.
Whew.
And
Okay.
essentially, the dampening technology is like a small black reflective box that you pull out of its chest.
Ooh, that's interesting. So it's small and really heavy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like it's super. The best way to describe it feels dense.
She's like, the fuck is this?
Tungsten square.
But yeah. Rumpus, meanwhile, has just been kind of gathering himself and just. Okay, Rumpus. We got this. Have you finished with all your business here?
Let's make sure there's nothing that is missed.
Yeah, I was gonna try and get through the.
If you want to take time to do things, that's fine with me. Personally, I feel like we're on a bit of a clock here, so the faster we get out of here, the better.
As do I.
We can always read the letter later.
Mm-hmm.
Well, assuming we don't die.
Yeah, I think that was everything we put, other than getting some of the goop from the server.
Sewer.
Server.
I mean, server goop is a thing.
Yes.
You just
but
gotta not
that's-
clean them long enough.
Yeah.
I mean, there probably is server goop in here, but that's not what we want.
No. Alright. So, you guys begin making your way out of Rufus's old lab. There is a brief pause as you guys are leaving this room where Rumpus turns around looking kind of towards the direction of the desk where the skeletal remains of his father are, as he kind of gives them a nod before you guys kind of slide the bookcase back in the place that it had been.
Just patting Rumpus's shoulder as we walk.
Mm-hmm.
Callie's. Oh God, Callie's going to grab the dragon book just in case there's markings in it. I mean, if there's not, there's not. But now we have 2 copies of it. But you know,
Probably not the kind of book you want to share anyway, right?
It depends on what circles you're in.
yeah. I mean, we've already discussed it amongst friends. But anyways,
I truly
Disgust.
feel like
I mean, because she doesn't have time to flip through it and make sure there's not any notes in it. So
I understand.
that's the extent, I think, of what she would have looked for again on the way out.
All right. So the way out obviously is much easier than the way in, as you pretty much just went back the same way that you guys came in. As you guys reach the stairwell that leads back to the crank that you'll have to inevitably rotate in order to slide back the metal table, there is a slight pause from Rumpus as he's like, "Hold on, I'm getting a message on my sending stone." Oh, hello, Nish. Mm-hmm. Once again, you watch his face kind of sink just a slight bit as he pinches the bridge of his nose. He's like, oh, I don't know. I'll consult with them. We'll try and figure something out, okay? And I'll contact you back. He takes a moment and he turns to you guys. So Nish just informed me that they are aware that we are in here. Makes sense. He did see the person did see us. The guards are currently waiting upstairs. I'm going to put the quote waiting. I'm going to put waiting in quotes. They know we're here. They still don't know how to get down here.
I don't suppose the one door we didn't open has a convenient teleporter behind it.
That
I
would be
mean, we could certainly try to open the door that we didn't go in, but
Well,
That's just being hopeful, really.
our chances might be better than meeting a bunch of city guards.
Well, that's the other option.
Well, the other option is we sit here and think about what our options are, potentially end up fighting the guards and quickly dashing back into the sewers. That's an option. Also, I do technically have Sfella, Oppo, and the Cyclone waiting to do something. They're on standby. They're not necessarily close, but if we give them some time and we can think of something to have them do that would make a good distraction, we might be able to pull some of the guards' attention away. It'd be against their orders to do so, but in the face of an immediate threat, what could they do except to address it?
After thinking for a moment, Callie's gonna just hold up a finger. The Cyclone might be able to get a message out to our benefactor to help coordinate something.
Well, how long would that take, though?
Have you never camped in a dungeon before, Rumpus?
I have spent time in prison. Does that count?
No.
Less food.
Well, food's not a problem.
Rations.
I'm sorry. It's the less food thing. That's the funny part to me. You think they feed us well in prison?
It's still less. That was the joke.
I suppose that is fair. Now I'm actually wishing my father had been some form of biology alchemist now, because at least it'd disgustingly be something to eat.
I don't know if I'd want to eat biologist experiments after what we saw in the sewers.
There's just like the frog eyes for a moment. Yes, that's actually a good point.
Why
That's
are
what
we
got it.
thinking about food right now?
I said food.
I can cast Goodberry
Oh,
if we need,
okay.
but perhaps that's not our main concern.
I'm not sure how I feel about waiting it out in the dungeon, and I only have 2 sending scrolls on me myself. And I had only had them in the attempts that, in the hopes that if I had to contact Sfella or the Cyclone or Oppo to do something, I could get, I would be able to do it. I would say this, no matter what you guys are the most comfortable with, I will go with it. I personally don't mind fighting the guards if we have to. We might even be able to sneak past them with a suitable distraction, but that has to be coordinated, and we probably need to spend some time thinking about what kind of distraction can be provided on the outside combined with something we can do here on our end in order to achieve that goal.
Well, personally, I think our best bet's probably the distraction because right there up now, there's just regular guards, right? They probably haven't had time to coordinate anything like the specialist.
Exactly. At least that's what I would assume is the case.
So some kind of distraction, and then just knock as many of them around and run past as fast as we can, I guess.
How does that sound to the rest of you?
Need to come up with a decent one, but it sounds workable to me.
And then once we get to the sewer, figure out where we're going from there.
Mm-hmm.
If I cover, I can use my mantle to get by.
Well, I mean, that makes you safe, but the rest
I
of
can't
us...
exactly share it.
I appreciate... No, I appreciate... I'm sorry, that was a negative thinking thought. Sfella would kick me for that. You're positively thinking.
I might be able to fit Shush in my bag.
Can he breathe in the bag, or is there air in the bag?
About 10 minutes of air, I think.
Okay. Could all of us fit in your bag?
I need to look this up, actually. Hang on.
I could well, I don't... I mean, the mantle is an actual cloak of a sort, right? I could potentially fit someone underneath it, but they're not attuned to it. So would it still have the same effect?
64 cubic feet of room, but it does have a weight limit, so I think only Shush and maybe one other person.
Well, I mean, this isn't exactly bad either. I'm an artificer myself, and one of the magical attunements I actually have and have been making use of outside of the Needler is, a bag of holding myself. So we have 2 at our disposal. Which...
Rufio is not exactly the most dexterous.
Rufio isn't the most dexterous, but they're looking for us. They're not looking for Rufio. At least that's my assumption. I'm not sure if that's a good assumption or a bad assumption. You guys tell me if you think that's a bad assumption. I'm just trying to think of any solution here. Really?
He saw everyone.
Yeah, I mean... Yes, he did see everyone. Does he consider Rufio a person, though?
Would he point him out as someone to apprehend?
I really...
Person or not.
I really dislike this, but how well do other people know that technology that you just mentioned to us about the head?
Ooh. Jeez. That's going to get into some... I'm not willing to diverge those dark details yet. So maybe hold off on that for a little. Let's put a pin in that.
I'm not asking that. I'm saying Rufio is at risk.
The upper class absolutely know how to do it. They've instructed many an artificer on doing it. That's why I know how to do it, and that's why my father knew how to do it.
Guys is kind of rubbing his chin. Rumpus.
Yes.
You think that if we took a shot at the remnants of the rest of that construct, the cube was able to generate a field that covered at least a 30-foot tall construct. Do you think it could cover our party if for a limited amount of time if we managed to figure out how to turn it on?
He thinks about that for a bit. I think you are onto something, Gaius Vipsanius. I hope it doesn't function like a magical item, because if it does, then we'll need some time to, get the attunement working.
Well, if you need to attune a construct or something to attune to it, I'm pretty similar to that big guy as far as I could tell. It knew my language and said a few things that I'm not quite comfortable with, but if it works on me, then that's a start for protecting everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that is our best bet right now. Okay, so we have a means for us to get out of here. That's good. And it's better than my other plan. I was going to say, why don't we just all jump in bags of holding and have Rufio carry us out? So, I'll take that. Better plan.
Now I just need a suitable distraction.
Shush lets out the breath that he had been holding.
Is Rufio still looking worse for wear?
Rufio doesn't look 100%, no.
Because, we don't have him here to see.
Yeah, he's not 100% right now. Right now, there's been a rush to just get out, so, Rumpus hasn't taken the time to patch him back up like he normally would. And he's like, alright, well, I think I have something. I am going to make a very bad decision for a suitable distraction outside as well, to increase our chances of getting into the sewers unnoticed.
Hopefully, with a opportunity for the distraction team to also escape.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem. We should decide on where we're going, though. Honestly, I have my preference on where we should go, and it may not be the quote-unquote safest place at the moment, but really it's the only place that we could probably go where I can guarantee some amount of time and safety.
Time is necessary to formulate plans, and plans lead to further time.
He sighs like,
Well,
honestly,
we can make that. We can make that decision once we get to the sewers.
Well, if I'm going to be giving orders to my crew, I need to be able to have a place where we can meet up.
That's fair.
That's the only. That's my only stigma on that situation.
Where would this location be then?
We've been there before. Yes, I'm talking about my base of operation. It's already booby-trapped, so if someone else other than us tries to get in, they'd have to trigger the alarms first before they even get in. We'd have some forewarning. Yes, it's the most obvious place I could go, but not too many people in the first place even know that I go there. It's better than nothing, and the other option, I'm just not certain. I hate to be that way. There is another option, but I'm just not certain. I'd like to hold off on that one, because I'm not sure if I can trust that person the same way I can trust everyone who's here and my closest friends like that at the moment.
Well, whoever it is, we gotta make sure we can use whatever place we go to look at this head.
I have the tools for it at my hideout, he says.
Then I think that's...
hideout.
I like the hideout then.
Well, that's decided then. Just so we're clear, the distraction I have planned, that old alchemy shop the old alchemy factory that was my base of operations, it didn't just have gas masks in it. It also had, some chemicals that have been siphoned and mixed and, well... How do you feel about explosives? Somewhere a goblin got really excited.
Gaius just kind of chuckles slightly. A little bit nervous. I've been asked that question at least 3 times by your father.
I got the job done.
That does not surprise me. Oh, it'll get the job done, all right. I'm trying to.
Not in it, I suppose.
I will have to ask the Cyclone or Svella to find the closest building that is not inhabited by somebody. And essentially, I'm committing domestic terrorism. He says as he puts his face into his hands, I'm committing domestic terrorism.
Question.
Technically, we already are. We're just proving them right.
Do you have flash bombs instead?
Flash bombs.
Could I
don't have them prepared.
Could I pair thaumaturgy to shake the ground and make them convinced that there's domestic terrorism without actually destroying?
I mean, it's could you use thaumaturgy that way? Unfortunately,
Because it just shakes the ground.
What's the range of the shaking?
30 feet.
30. Oh, how large is the area that gets shaken? Because it said that I should be.
It doesn't specify. Let me double check.
This is one of those things where, like, the spell doesn't specify jack shit.
There, so you can read it.
Harmless tremors in the ground for 1 minute.
It just says that, and the range is 30 feet. And I can have up to 3 at a time.
Fuck! Well, actually, you suggesting that does give Rumpus another idea.
But I'm underneath them, so technically within 30 feet.
Oh, that actually does give Rumpus an idea. As Rumpus says, hold on, before we commit an act that an act that we can't undo. Does anyone here know, like, I know it's going to sound odd, does anyone know the any illusion magic? Minor illusion, major illusion, things like that.
Pip doesn't verbally answer, but he just kind of like puts a hand on his hip and like tilts his head at.
I know you did. You don't do magic. Yes.
Closest I have is prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation.
Time.
Shush just shakes his head.
I can do up to 3 effects at once. That's my maximum.
And I only know the minor illusion spell. My next guess was to play in on the guard's superstition that this place is, well, haunted. And make a spectral image of my father appear using illusion magic and the combination of thaumaturgy, you said it was?
For the whispers and the shakes.
Do you think a minor illusion would make a convincing one?
What do we have to lose?
Well, it's better than committing domestic terrorism. Actual domestic terrorism. I do agree with you, Shush. Technically, what we have done is considered it, but there's a difference.
Shush kind of like brings his hands. He can't do the form right now because he only has one left. But he kind of like pulls his hands up scarily and makes like scary noises. I have a scary form.
I like that.
Plus, in tandem with the potential of that dampening field,
we can hide the rest of the people who aren't being scary and hide us who are casting the spell. But we can make use of the magic to make a convincing thing like, ooh, spooky ghost, get out of here. It's oh god, this sounds so crazy. I hope it works. Alright, let's plot this down to make sure we have a solid plan here before we, run out and ooga booga booga.
Booga, booga, booga.
There aren't going to be any side effects of putting this cube in me, are there?
I don't. God damn. I don't know. Personally, I don't know if this thing is actually compatible with you in its current form. Me and Gaius are likely going to have to spend some time tinkering on it. No matter what, we're going to have to sit down here if we intend to use the dampening field. We're going to have to spend some time getting it working.
Well, I'm not magically inclined or an artificer, but I'll help where I can.
appreciate it.
I'm just... Well, you know what? Let me send out a sending to Svella to let her know that we're meeting up at my hideout.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do have a free cast
Of?
from my level up, but I haven't long rested, but it's a daily free cast.
You
Does that
haven't
actually-
rested yet, so you don't have it yet.
So that's what I wanted to make sure that I wasn't discounting. Like, I know I don't have spell slots, but this is a free spell.
I would say that you still need to rest before you long rest before you get it. Like anything that you have right now, like an action. If you have like action surge now or extra attack, you have access to those now. But like spells and such, not so much.
I just wanted to make sure I'm not bringing something up that she would have already.
I completely understand, but I'm like, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep.
Otherwise, yeah, I know it's tieflings get access to darkness at 5th level. Yeah, it would have been that actually would have been really good, but in this particular
If I
case,
can long rest, I could do one or two things.
yeah, if you long rest, you could do 2 things that would make this a cakewalk. But
Correct. Anyway.
that's the challenge right now.
All right.
Alrighty, let me use one of my sending scrolls to send a message to Svella to let her know to gather Oppo the Cyclone, and we're all going to meet up at my hideout. I'll probably just contact Nish via earpiece to let him, sending stone, to let him know that we're going to meet at my hideout. He can come after he's finished with his shift if he feels like it or if he can afford it. Honestly, I think I almost prefer him to be at the guard station so we can get the play-by-play of what's happening on their end.
That seems wiser to me.
As a matter of fact, he pulls out his sending stone, and as a matter of fact, he'll pull out the sending scroll, let Svella know what's going on, to gather the others and bring them to the hideout.
And to be careful just in case.
Yeah, and be careful just in case. Good on you for that one. And that he's also going to contact Nish via sending stone to say, hey, the rest of us are going to meet up at... the rest of us are going to be meeting up at the hideout. I want you to stay at the guard station. Just let us know what's happening there on our end so that we don't end up getting extra screwed by something that we don't know is about to happening. As he gets a confirmation, all right, Nish is on board, and orders have been given to Svella, so it's just getting this. As Pep, do you pull the he points at the backbone, getting that thing up and functioning.
Yeah.
And then doing plans. What did you call the plan, Gaius?
Scooby-Doo.
I like that plan. All right, let's go. All right, so you guys pull the 30-pound little black box out of the thing as Rufus is like, why is it so heavy? What the hell?
I'll hold it, and then he'll actually glance to Shush while they're preparing to work on it. Don't suppose you've got anything you can pitch in?
Boss in my head, do I have anything to pitch in?
What do you want of me?
Not hearing this, but like, is it obvious that like the quietness that Shush is probably communicating?
He's kind of like looking up as if in thought.
Okay. Pip's a little annoyed. He'll take a step forward and he won't pull the arm blade out, but he's kind of like waving that hand around. Look, I don't know how much you can hear through the friggin' bird, but if we don't get out of this place, he's dead too, and then you're stuck here in this pit and with whatever the hell the gods do to you. So you better damn well help me, even if you don't like me.
Shush. There's a pause when your patron, like when you're like you're like having that conversation where your patron goes to Shush. Can you tell the construct to shut the fuck up?
Are we still friends?
Are you talking?
I just kind of looking up at Pip.
He takes a step back and just seems really like shocked by this. Yeah? What? Yes. Of course we are, Shush.
Okay.
Of course we are. He goes and sits down with the cube.
Okay, that problem solved.
Perfect. Well, you've been a good servant to me recently. If you hold true to your other end of the bargain and can deliver within 2 weeks, I do have something that I can perform for you. But I would require one of the other things that I asked you for to be, as I said, to be delivered within the 2 weeks' time.
How do I deliver things, or do I just stick it in the bag?
You don't have to stick it in the bag. I need to know that there's another person who's willing to help us. Other people.
Well. I can try and think of someone. I'm sure I can. Okay. I'll give her the old college try.
Good. Well, that black box that you guys have, it's familiar technology to me.
Familiar enough to
I can
get it to work the way
functioning. However, you will have to show them the S-Core. You currently don't have the power to get it working with just the construct you have on hand. His power source isn't great enough to get it working. At least not in a truly functioning matter.
but make it work with the S-Core, and then it perks right up.
Exactly. Shush.
Yeah.
The patron is going to, in fact, deliver instructions to you on how to hook up the black box to the S-Core. You will have a +5 to try. If you aid somebody in doing it, you are providing them a +5 bonus to Tinkerer's tools to fixing it.
Then he is going to get with Gaius.
So currently Gaius and Rumpus are trying to futz around with the box. It's so dense, and I don't understand that. But more importantly, where's the port? They got it unhooked from the thing, but how is it working? All right, I see where it gets power right here.
Perhaps it was set into some sort of indentation in the original design.
Yes, I can see that. How does it function? How does it generate the field? And this is when Shush approaches.
So pulling the S-Core out of his bag, he just kind of like points right at where it's supposed to go, and is like,
Well, it needs an external power source, and you have to put this here.
Rumpus looks at you as his eyes kind of widen a bit. Where in the world did you...
Don't worry about it.
Alright, I'm just going to ask you to roll me a persuasion. That's all I'm asking for.
I can do a persuasion.
Yeah.
I can suck at a persuasion, too. Dice love me today.
No, they love you today.
As
Rumpus like, you know what? I don't have time to worry about that detail. You are right. I don't know how you know this knowledge or where you got that. I don't care as long as it gets us out of here. Alright, so, Shush.
Do I need to roll insight given what I just asked him? I'm pretty sure I can piece 2 and 2 together.
You can piece 2 and 2 together. I'm not gonna roll for that.
Pip's not gonna say anything. I just need to make sure I know. Okay, yeah.
Can I insight, given the emotional stress of earlier is currently blocking some memories of the power fluctuating right before some drastic shit happened?
I would say roll me... I would say yes, roll me an insight. DC is 15.
Hey!
Yeah,
You're
also,
safe for
where
now.
Are we fiddling with things?
I was saying I only wanted to roll insight because I'm emotionally stressed.
Yeah. Did you say you want to roll insight
No,
too?
I just wanted to know where we're doing all this fiddling around.
Oh, you're doing it like right at the stairwell.
Right at the staircase,
Oh
right?
god, right next to the thingy?
Yeah, right next to the crank.
Okay, I guess Kelly's lookout,
Yeah.
because she's just like,
And
we
you
need to
can
get the fuck out of
hear
here.
mumblings from the guards up above, mostly complaining about the rain, complaining that they have to do this, all the manner of things that guards that I don't want to be here today, kind of stuff.
I could have gone to the Cloud District.
Would Rumpus be mad if she had already started doing the whispers?
No, but you can do it.
Just the whispers.
Yeah,
not the
you can
shaking,
do it.
just
You
the
can-
whispers.
You
because,
can do it.
like, part of the rain. That's what I want her to do, is kind of make it sound like there's whispers in the rain.
That is okay with me. I will just say I want you to roll me a deception check.
That's fine.
Technically with advantage because they have no idea where it's coming from. Let me just check.
Because it is not a visual thing. I made sure that the range is just a location, does not have to be in sight.
Okay. That was literally the next thing I was about to do.
That was one of the first things I checked on it to see if I could even offer it as an option. You said deception.
Yes.
Doop. You said advantage?
Yes, you will have advantage.
Please. 19.
Okay, and you'll find out how that went later on.
This is basically
Now,
just her
to the
trying
more important
set up
thing.
for ease.
Gaius, I believe that Shush is offering you a +5 advantage Tinker's Tool check.
Intelligence, right?
Yep, using intelligence.
Advantage,
Advantage and +5.
and then +5 to whatever's rolled.
That's a
+5
24.
19, so that's 24.
So,
AC 25s.
it's worth noting that with what you got, it's worth noting that with what you find out, especially because it's a 24, you realize that there may be a point in the future that if you can repurpose this or find someone, or maybe you yourself have a lot of time, or you find someone who's really good at understanding technology of this level, you might be able to repurpose this as a form of magical item that can be given to Pip. But for right now, given the incredibly precise and accurate instructions that Shush is providing you on how to do this, you perfectly get this thing hooked up to the S-core that Shush had on hand. As the black box kind of hums a little bit and has a purplish glow to it. As Shush, your patron, says, and it should be functioning now. Now, in order to get it to work, you simply have to, in this case, because it's not installed inside of a construct, you'll need to kind of slide your hand across the top of it to get it to activate, and then you'll slide your hand the opposite direction to deactivate it. And that should be it.
Just kind of like slide arm.
All right.
Slide wing. Arm.
So anyone that is not with anyone who is not holding onto the box, for the rest of you guys who are not in light, you see them just kind of begin to disappear slightly. Not like go fully invisible because it's not fully dark in here, but it's just like they start becoming very hard to see. In a similar manner to the H4 infiltrator.
So who's Gaius is holding it, right?
Gaius, Rumpus, and I believe was Pip holding it as well?
Yeah, he was helping where he could, so if necessary.
Alright, so calligraphy, you're...
I'm the only one not, yeah.
Booga booga woo!
Yeah, I'm doing the ominous whispers shit because I'm trying to set them up to be just even more... I don't want to be here. This is awful.
Yeah. So calligraphy...
Do we see each other?
Yes, you guys can see each other.
Okay.
Calligraphy, though, you see them just almost phase out of existence as they stop being visible for a moment. Or at least it's really hard to see them. It's like their outline becomes very blurry and hard to visualize.
Whoa! It looks like you're getting something to work.
Shush lets go of the box.
Alright, when Shush lets go of the box, Shush becomes completely visible again.
I don't think
Come over
I
here
can
and
see
join the
you.
Invincible Club.
She'll just pull up her mantle. I'm fine.
Okay. And he touches the box. Oh, wait, that doesn't work. He lets go of the box. We can see each other when we're all touching the box. I don't know if that matters to you.
Well, I know where we're going,
That's fair. He touches the box.
right?
Oh, wait, I'm part of the distraction. Let's go to the box.
Alright, I think we're as good as we're going to be. It actually, Shush has a point, though. At least as long as we're opening this, we should all be touching the box so we're not visible when we first start doing this. Everyone needs to snuff out torches, lanterns, lamp, whatever light source you're using. This thing was meant to work in the dark. Is that correct, Shush? He says with a awkward smile. He's like, I'm not certain about that. You're the one who's been giving me this knowledge. You hear the voice from your patron.
Works.
Yes, that is how it works.
Yeah, that's basically it.
I have an idea.
Pip, in deep speech, will say thanks, but nothing more.
Shush, and I'm sorry that you're being the walkie-talkie for this, but...
It's fine, I signed up for this.
Yeah, you hear a frustrated grumble from your patron when he says thanks in deep speech.
Guys,
I mimic the grumble as a courtesy.
for Gaius turning off the lights of his thing, which now that has the full stealth thing, I think makes sense. He just takes a deep breath and sort of they seem to fade or dim.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's sucking the power back into himself.
Sam says she has an idea about something as well,
Yeah.
so...
When we get out there, let me know which one is the most spooked looking. As she holds up the horn of silent alarm.
Oh.
Because what it does is it can, see if I can just... no one else hears it, but they hear this blaring horn. I feel like that would scare the fuck out of someone if it came out of the blue when they're already kind of like unsettled. So, may as well give it a try. That would be a really good distraction, at least so we can get around.
I approve of this. So that is Callie's idea. I approve of it, but that doesn't say that if the party approves of it or not. You guys get your say and take on that as well.
Works for me.
Sounds good to me.
Seems fine.
All
And
right.
she'll test to make sure that only touching the box with one, like we can touch it with just one hand.
Yes,
It's still
touching it
fine.
with one hand does work.
Then okay.
All right then. Let's get this started then. Says Rumpus as he attempts to lift the box higher, but then he just like gives Pip this "please help" look.
Oh yeah, he'll two hands. So we gotta carry the head too.
Don't worry, we can put the head in your bag of holding.
Oh, it fits. Okay.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, Pip will put it in then.
One of their bags are holding at least, right?
Yes.
Because they both have one.
Yes, they both
Because
have.
Rumpus said. he
Yeah,
had
Rumpus
one.
has a bag.
I'm like,
Yes.
Look, man,
He said it.
Pip got offered loot. It's going in the bag right now. He's already putting it away.
It's the bag.
give him the bag.
All right. So, who is going to turn the crank?
I'm being a spooky ghost, so I think it's me.
Okay.
Sounds right.
Like before. I don't remember if it was like a strong.
Oh, it's not a strong thing. Anyone could crank this. I mean, it was meant for a gnome artificer to be able to crank it. So,
Muppet arms. Gotcha.
yeah, Muppet arms. All right. So, Shush, you slowly turn the crank in order to pull back the stone table so that the stairwell opens as the guards that are upstairs, who had been mumbling and grumbling and complaining all this time, suddenly just stop as they all look in that direction. Did that table just move? I'm pretty sure it did. I'm definitely sure that table just moved by itself. Okay, man, I'm already freaked out. This has already been a creepy-ass night with all the fucking rain and whispers and shit. I don't know how the hell Nish was staying okay in here.
Hey, do they have any torches?
They do have torches.
No,
Yep! I do it! As suddenly, their torches get snuffed. I'm gonna ask for a group intimidation check with advantage.
Can I blow the horn for the one we saw? For the one yelling out, I
There-
don't like this. I don't know how he did
Alright,
this.
there are 6 guards in here.
Well, I only want to...
Yeah. I'm just telling you. It's information.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll wait.
Intimidation.
Intimidation
Right?
with
Yeah, a group intimidation check.
So, I-
Ooh-wee.
that is not what I'm looking for.
Oh,
It's
is
with
there?
advantage.
Yeah,
Oh,
with
was it?
Yeah, it is with advantage.
Oh, my
So-
bad. Well,
Well,
That's,
use the
that's
fortune.
fine.
Alright, that is more than enough for a pass. As one of the guards who's closest to the door, upon seeing the torch get snuffed in that door opening, he's like, "Nope, that's too much for me. I'm done for today. I'll take a flogging. Fuck this." As he walks out, as the other was like, "You can't just abandon your post like that." "Yes, I can," he says as he walks the fuck out.
I'm going to do the ground.
Alright.
Make the ground shake.
You know what else?
And then once, okay.
Mm.
One cubic splits. Okay.
Does air count?
Non-living material. I wouldn't say air counts, but armor sure would.
Yeah, they're getting chills.
and Shush wanted to do something, it sounded like?
Yeah, and once the ground starts shaking, he just goes, "You have trespassed in my tomb for too long."
Roll me an intimidation check with advantage.
Which voice is that?
No, not now!
Oh, it
I mean, the blade coming out might help with the effects. The sound of a blade coming out, anyway.
As he's talking about his tomb, you just hear the blade hitting the body.
Door.
Yeah.
Door slams open
Yep.
and flops.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Door slams open as you say that. As another the dwarf guard that had been in here. Oh no, I'm with him. Fuck this. This is some haunted. I told them this place is fucking haunted. As the fastest you probably see the dwarf shuffle, just runs out the door. Coward! Enjoy your flogging! Anyone standing next to Rumpus sees him kind of wiggle his fingers a bit as you see like this spectral image begin floating over the ceiling. As he's like, one of you can do something, do something.
And then Shush takes form of dread, and he just does that thing where like only like one hand comes through the door, and it just like kind of grabs the frame.
Okay, that one, roll me intimidation advantage +5. Seriously. That gets a +5 to it. That's some scary ass shit.
Yeah.
Slash roll 2d20. No, that's gonna be hard. Let me just roll the advantage and then add 5 to whatever it is. Intimidation advantage. That is a 19.
A 19 is a pass, but the combination of the minor illusion, and that imagery, along with everything else that has happened in the floor shaking, their wills are broken entirely. As one of the gnomes that's like, I think I just pissed myself. As he just passes out, as another gnome grabs him by the collar and starts dragging him out as he runs. As the other one's just like, ah! Ah! And starts running as fast as he can.
I'm fucking crying.
As there is a brief moment before the face of Nish pops his head inside, looks around. What the fuck is going on in here? As
Shush is just gonna take his scary face out and just look at him and like make a huge grin and just go, I'm a scary bird.
As Nish slowly closes the door.
Okay, the coast is clear. We gotta go now.
Yep. So you guys make a mad dash to where you guys know the sewer pipe is. As you just slide down it until you get back into the sewers again. And I can stop this music.
Give me that sewer goo.
This is what he's wanted the entire time.
I know we're going fast. There was no quick
thirsty
way
for
to reset the table, right? Without turning knobs.
You would have had to return the knobs.
Never mind.
If you want to spend time doing that, feel free to. It's if you feel that that's worth it.
Well, it's dark in the room, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She'll separate activate her mantle since she's what's the word? I can say words, I swear.
I know you can.
She's slightly obscured, so she's going to run and try to close all the things, because may as well not give them anything extra.
Alright. Do roll me that stealth check with the mantle.
Okay, yep. Should I advantage?
Yeah, you have
mantle?
advantage.
Okay. Because it doesn't have a roll. Oof. 15.
No, you're good. Most of the people are too spooked, so you take some time as you actually go and turn the knobs, closing the door back up to it. As you then, you're pretty much the last person to kind of slide down the bottom stairs, and the rest are kind of waiting for you. As
her hope is that they'll still be convinced they're down there.
Yeah. As Rumpus just has this look on his face of, oh my fucking god, that worked.
I didn't invoke the name of Scooby-Doo easily.
I would say no one got hurt, but I I heard the sounds of that one pooping itself.
Well, I hope he was wearing brown pants then.
Agreed.
And at least it's raining for his sake. No one will know.
That just makes it stinkier.
I'm laughing because we just escaped death narrowly.
Let's continue to do so.
Oh. That was fun. That was the second funnest thing I've done this week.
Adventure.
Former dread is probably expired.
Yeah.
What was the first most fun thing you did?
He looks over at calligraphy. She knows.
How romantic.
Tama bounces around on her shoulder.
I mean, I was there, Oppo was there, Nish was there, Spella was there. It was fun. It was a good time for all. It's one of those...
sounding much less romantic.
A little bit.
Callie just makes this like.
Yeah, no, I'm with her on that one. Only Spella for that kind of stuff. Ugh. Anyway,
I agree. Only Svella.
You know a lot about romance there, Shush. Normally I took you as a quiet one.
Shush grabs one of the dragon books.
Which one?
I guess it would probably.
this is
be the
important.
one Callie has out.
which one? Which with cover?
Probably the silver dragon one. I don't know. He just kind of reaches in and grabs a random one.
No, I'm gonna give it to you. The silver dragon one. Actually, no. I want you to roll the 1d6.
I'll roll 1d6. That's even better.
We should just have a random table for this to roll.
I agree.
Like
And
with magic.
it's not the silver one. You pull out the bronze one.
Okay.
That looks uncomfortable.
Yes!
That is the intention.
Does he look like Zelifar now?
No.
Don't say things about my Zelipharn like that.
Not your Zelifar anymore. Click's dead.
You're right.
God damn it! We almost went a whole session without it, motherfuckers.
We'll never go a full session without it.
Anyway, would you guys like to stealthily move through the sewers?
Yes, I believe this box might help.
Yes, the box would help.
Pointed look at Rufio.
Rufio has like one digit on the box.
As if Callie isn't the one who got in that one.
Yeah. All right. So, with you guys holding the black box, I will say this. If you need illumination to be able to see in the sewers, you're going to have to let the people with dark vision lead you guys.
Yeah.
I have dark vision until I take a short rest.
Goggles.
I am happy to lead.
I can't see it. I can't see a damn thing.
Just hold on to my armor.
All right. Because you guys are not lighting torches, that makes you count as being that technically makes you invisible in the pitch black darkness, which is good. All I just need is a stealth for you guys not to make noise, which I will give you advantage on. So advantage group stealth to just not make fucking noise.
18. Oh.
Ooh! All right. That will constitute one person that would fail. It will now have a pass instead. And that's a pass.
I thought we took that off.
You don't.
Oh no,
no, it's
never mind. Yep,
plate.
I'm gonna make that mistake every single time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I had the same problem.
But it should have been. But it should have at least negated. It'd still be 16, but the advantage should have negated the disadvantage.
Perfect. All right, and even if Rufio would fail, he gets a pass because of Pip. So I don't have to roll for him. As you guys continue along the path back to the very sewer grate where you guys essentially crawled up from, as Rumpus kind of looks at Pip slash Rufio and just like, would you mind getting it off?
What's you referring to? Oh, the grate.
The sewer grate that's back on. The manhole that's back on.
Alright, got it. He'll do one arm since we're holding the cube, and I guess Rufio with one arm as well makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Just tug.
All right.
Yeah.
Just roll me in athletics or strength, your choice. No advantage this time.
Athletics, because I have a +9 now. So, even if...
Yeah, 25 as you just one hand push it up as the manhole goes flying up in the air and just lands next to... well, I imagine you don't want to make noise, so I'll take that back.
Sneaky.
Yeah, as you just delicately lift the manhole, slide it over to the side, as you guys make your way out of the sewer, then slide the manhole back on.
Yeah, I mean, since he's guiding it, Rufio doesn't get to just dunk it.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't care.
Correct.
Unless ordered.
Alright. And you guys make your way back to Rumpus's hideout, and I need to pull up the music for that. This folder.
Woo!
But did I get my sewer goo?
Oh, yes, you did get your sewer goo. I had 2 vials of sewer goo. After session, I can tell you what the stats are, unless we end up having to use them in combat. That happens. We'll see if that happens or not.
Don't worry, I'm sure I'll just carry around random shit like this in my inventory for the entire campaign, just like another campaign.
Hey, that slime came in handy.
That's true.
In the same session, so...
Frog slime.
Sometimes it just happens. Which one do I want to use?
Oh, probably the effects of it.
Yeah, I actually prefer this one right here, so let's use that. Close that down and... Alright, now you're back at Rumpus's hideout. Sphella, Oppo, and the Cyclone are all there, and they seem like they've been waiting for a little while. They've seemingly been here long enough that they've already even dried off from the rain. As Sphella looks at Rumpus, and she's like, "Oh my god, what happened to you?" As she runs up to him and then immediately stops. Oh,
Just smacking everyone with a clean stone.
clean!
God
Clean!
bless that stone.
Pip finally not covered
good
completely in construct guts and oil. That's good.
I mean, Shemesh bless. Yes, Shemesh bless
Yes.
that stone.
Yeah.
Not Callie. Callie would not say that.
As you smack him with the cleaning stones, Fella goes from their hesitation at the stench to immediately hugging him as he's like, "Oh, I actually needed that right now." As his head just slumps onto her shoulder. It's been a fucking day. And I'm not done yet, but can't you guys just give me like 30 minutes so I can catch my breath? He says, looking to the party.
No worries.
30 minutes sounds fair.
Well,
Take
be
the
nearby
top-
in case something happens.
Take all the time you need. You're the one looking in the head, right?
That is correct. As Sphella escorts him essentially to a kind of back-ish room, like a more closed-off kind of room. As the Cyclone approaches, "So what exactly happened inside that place? It doesn't seem like it was a breeze as much as Rumpus thought it would be."
It was
Ducks.
hell.
Dark storm clouds, I guess, is the way to phrase it.
There are a bunch of normal-sized constructs, and there is a big construct.
There were constructs inside there? Huh. I wasn't expecting that. I thought the place had burned entirely down.
You didn't expect constructs in an artificer's lair?
The place was entirely burned down. You'd think if there were constructs in there, they would have removed them, sold them off for parts.
It wasn't completely burned down.
Secret lab.
Shit, the break room wasn't even burned. Just the
Suspicious.
places.
There were no constructs in the break room.
Man, I went in there.
Until Pip went in there. And then he left, and then there were, again, no constructs in the break room.
You are putting the Cyclone in a whirlwind of emotions right now, and he wishes for you to chill.
I blow on him.
Right. So I need to give a report to Ledger by tomorrow morning, since you guys have now been inside. What did you guys find? Did you find what you were looking for?
Mm-hmm.
I will let him know.
I think we need to take a minute and look at what we found.
Oh, you found more inside.
We did carry out quite a bit of stuff.
Do you like conspiracies?
The Cyclone thrives on conspiracies.
Just pull out the entire conspiracy board.
Yeah, we rolled it up, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unroll it on a
What
table.
the hell is this?
A conspiracy
Conspiracies.
board.
Oh, this is much worse than what I thought you were going to actually give me. What else
Sorry,
did you
to
find
disappoint you?
inside? Oh no, not disappointed, just... Rumpus told me that his dad was a conspiracy theorist. I'm trying to be polite.
Yes and no.
Notes,
No.
journals, power source, cube, sword, poison,
That reminds me, what the hell is that black box you have right there?
conspiracy board, dragon erotica,
Hey,
oil.
wait, hold on! The Cyclone wants you to send that wind back to... What the fuck?
What the
And
hell?
Kelly holds up the book.
Is
that
Oppo
was-
within hearing this of all this shit?
Yeah, Oppo is just like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here now.
Yeah, Kelly pulls out the book because she intended to flip through it and just see if there's
Oh, God.
markings. But she is not reading it. She is just looking for markings in the book because she's not...
Oh god, I actually recognize that book. My mom loved it.
Wondering how many fans of Alfina Dubrith we're going to find.
Hopefully
Too
not many more. My mom had incredibly bad taste in books. Which I know is not a polite thing to say about one's mother, but...
Well, I mean, we've run into a dragon reading it, so it must be important, right? You make sure to say that loud enough the kobold can hear.
The kobold looks uncomfortable at this, but it's being quiet.
I did want to ask a little bit about some stuff with you, Oppo, but perhaps not in this subject matter.
I'd appreciate that. I really don't want to talk about dragon erotica.
I don't either.
My master was not a... My master would never have allowed such a thing.
It was intentionally left as a clue for us. Maybe there's more inside.
There
Yeah,
usually is.
after flipping through about half of it, Callie just shoves it at Pip. Will you check it?
Of course I will. And then he opens it.
And starts reading it for real.
She's just like, nope, I don't even like holding this.
Pip, roll me an investigation.
If nothing else, Pip is cheering up quite a bit by this trolling of...
I know.
Oh,
You've
God.
gained such insights.
But not
Just
the
like-
right kind.
Just like
Unfortunately,
as you're going through, just like mumbling parts aloud. Na 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 na. Flip, 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 flip. Ba 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 ba. Flip, 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 flip.
That doesn't go
Oh.
there.
And then he...
That's not. What are organs even? Ba 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 ba.
yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, Pip, unfortunately your investigation does turn up something. You find something out about dragon anatomy you never wanted to know. And that is now permanent knowledge for you.
Just gives Gaius a look.
He's not even looking at Pip, it just his head like raises a little bit. It's like he doesn't even turn around, he just goes, no.
Does the book at least tell which one came first, the egg or the dragon?
Shut up.
I knew that question was coming.
No, my name is Shush.
I don't know, Shush, do you want to read it? Maybe you can, you...
Like, Kelly looks at it, she's like, do elves lay
But-
eggs?
Pip leans in with the book open, kind of like brandishing it towards Shush. Everything you read, he reads too, right?
Yes.
Corvid, if you
I
touch that book, I will give you the worst nightmares you have ever had.
I think you should read it. I think you should read it right now and try and find something.
do a thorough investigation of the book.
Alright, you have now actually pissed off your patron. God damn it! Why would you do this?
Can I take 20?
I can't believe I've found a way to bond with Shush and it's trolling his patron.
Fuck.
Above table, you always knew this was the way.
I just didn't think of a right way to do it until now.
Alright,
Why did you read this, Shush? It ends on a cliffhanger, and now I can't stop wondering what happens next. God damn you!
Shush, roll me an investigation.
Such a no on the take 20, gotcha.
Am I helping?
You also discover something about dragon anatomy you never wished to know.
And now,
And now
so does he.
And so does your patron. As he's like, how would it... That doesn't even... The size doesn't...
It was probably creative imagination more so than the actual.
Logical facts dictate that this does not work the way she wrote it.
Pip's just holding a hand to his lack of mouth and like trying not to giggle.
So he's in this case not in a way that Cyclone or Oppo would hear, but he's pointedly looking up and going and saying things like,
Well, they wrote it down. They didn't actually try and do it.
Like you hear retching sounds.
Trying to. You know what? I don't want to know either.
Meanwhile, Oppo and Gaius are having a conversation.
Yes.
As Oppo, pretty much how it's breaking off is Calligraphy, Cyclone having their conversation, Gaius, Oppo having a conversation, Pip and Shush trolling the patron.
giggling in the corner like little schoolgirl, like schoolgirls of this book.
Callie will debrief on how we spooked the guards, because I feel like everybody having or like 2 sets of comical moments is good to have right now.
Okay, perfect. Alright, so, Gaius, you sit down with Oppo, as he's like, hello, Gaius, I was hoping eventually you'd come and talk to me. How are you doing?
Well, glancing over the group and their antics, getting along fairly well. Things have definitely changed a little bit since the last time we met.
A lot of things have changed since the last time we met.
Quite. Including, well...
My master disappearing. I had originally come here to tell Rufus that my master disappeared, and that would perhaps mean some danger for the gnomish cities, and maybe danger for people who want to go out on expeditions out there, since my master had done a pretty good job of keeping kobolds in line and not just randomly attacking people. But the situation is a bit worse than that now.
Someone filled the power vacuum?
Someone filled the power vacuum. Some gold dragon came in. He's not quite as old as my master was, but he's still powerful enough that kobolds will respect him. His name is, I believe it's Partha.
I bet Gaius is wincing at that.
Yep.
Just immediately hand covers eye.
You know him.
We've met.
That mark on your face, did he give it to you?
No. It manifested before we met a few weeks.
Trotar gave it to you.
Mm-hmm. Apparently it is connected to his name. To this gold dragon's name.
His eyes kind of widen a bit. She's testing you.
Just slight nod.
He's your challenge to overcome.
I will admit I'm not excited about that, but given the circumstances, I understand why it needs to happen.
He gives a nod. My master went through such a test as well in his younger days. All dragons go through some kind of test according to him. Not all of them get a mark like what you have, and dragon gods are typically nicer to their dragons that serve them.
Granted, this only manifested after battle.
And typically how it... Gods work in mysterious ways. Nice way to put it.
I trust that this has a purpose beyond a warning, you know.
You'll be able to know whenever Partha is nearby. So you have that going for you.
Some benefit.
And it will let other dragons know. Should they be able to see the mark, mind you. It'll let them know that you are being tested by Trothar. It might grant you some boons, or if they are servants of Daresh, they may try to impede you. There are, of course, dragons that are unaligned to the gods that wish to remain pretty much out of the fray of it. Those ones likely will not care. They'll find it interesting that you have the mark, and they might try to keep you as a treasure. He says with an awkward smile.
A source of amusement rather than understanding the weight.
Correct. Did I ever tell you and Rufus my Dragon Master's name?
Did he?
No, he did not.
No, I don't believe he did.
Let me find that. So this will be posted in chat for you as well. Trothar Imrit.
There was a journal with mentions of a blue dragon and the kobolds that served under him in the middle of the desert.
There are a lot of blue dragons in the desert. As far as I'm aware, my master is actually the oldest blue dragon that lives in the desert.
And he disappeared.
He looks sad as he says that. I don't know. One day we just woke up and he was gone.
No
he
sign
didn't
of
even
departure.
He didn't even bring his horde with him.
That does seem peculiar. Given other similar things that have happened recently, like what else we found down there, I'm suspecting more foul play than random chance.
You suspect that my master is dead? He says as he looks like he's on the verge of, like, tears.
No. Quite the opposite, actually. I believe that there may be a chance to find out what happened. It doesn't necessarily mean he's dead. But I would not imagine that whatever could make this happen is anything to sneeze at.
He looks at Shush when you say that. Sorry, Calligraphy made jokes throughout the week that his name is Sneeze.
Do I notice?
What's your passive perception?
I think it's 13.
No, you don't notice. No.
Okay, cool.
Guys will chuckle slightly at that. And understandable. Jess?
Very, very focused on this dragon erotica.
That's pretty much trolling your patron. Trolling your patron.
Just guys looks over and it's like, an understandable, and then visibly shudders looking back. Joke to be made there.
If I may, what's their obsession with the dragon erotica? Why do they want that?
I did mention that we met the gold, right?
You met him?
He encountered us on the way here. He was
Is
carrying
he here
that
in the
book.
city?
I don't know.
Oppo seems to be very panicked about this.
I did
He
loudly say earlier that we he left the
Yep.
clue.
He was carrying that book, and that's the book we found inside the laboratory.
That's odd.
Tension broken up by us snickering in the corner.
So it's very. Just glances over again, frowning. Strange. I don't understand his thought process. Some of what he said now makes most sense if it's seen in the greater picture that we found, which I'm sure that we'll explain in detail in a moment.
Being fair,
But-
understanding the thought process of a dragon is something that is very difficult to do.
That is fair.
I don't know why I don't know why my master left creating this situation in the first place. If he knew that trouble was coming, why wouldn't he stay here to make sure that everything was okay like he had been doing? I'm just confused is all.
Well, it is our job to uncover mysteries, is it not?
That is what Rufus said that you guys do.
And you're Oppo is a historian, right?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Well, in some matters, you also do the same with your people's history.
I'm mostly just a shaman. My job is just to take the drawings on the wall and hear from the people who are older than me tell me what the drawings mean, and then I tell that to the younger generation.
Speaking of, I found some iconography that I don't know the source of. What does a dragon with 12 wings mean?
That's Chota Hashigara.
Oh, that is something I asked, but it's like I didn't know. Okay.
Yep, now you know. She's the
So
12-winged
is-
dragon.
Oh.
Did you find one of her temples?
He's gonna pull out the book.
He looks at the book. As he's like, interesting. This is a relic.
Given to Rufus by the blue kobolds.
There are other blue kobolds other than me.
Apparently. Highly intelligent, but that seems consistent.
His eyes kind of squint. A Jabu Valley?
Shit, my notes are failing me. I think that was it.
I think so.
It
I recognize
is.
that name.
It is. Yes.
Now I'm not a little less surprised. The Ajabu Valley was where, technically, my master's true home was.
This interaction happened several years ago, according to journals.
Maybe.
So-
No. He says, shaking his head.
Something come to mind?
Maybe something happened back in the Ajabu Valley that my master felt he had to return to. Because I haven't been back there in forever.
Perhaps it's worth a look.
It might just be.
Would you mind accompanying us?
If it will get me answers to the questions and help me find my master, then absolutely. Even if it's just finding out that he's dead, I just want to know what happened.
Closure in any case.
He nods. Calligraphy, do you want to roleplay your conversation with the Cyclone?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I think what she would do was preface, like, some of the important things about the lab, like, so he knows why Rumpus is down.
Oh, okay.
And then follow up with how they got the hell out.
All
but
right.
I don't think we need to recount it because
Yeah,
if
yeah.
anyone wants that, they can rewind the episode and enjoy it all over again live.
Fair enough. All right. Right here, for just a moment, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. Because I feel like this is a good time to take a quick break. And then we'll come right back. How's that sound?
It's good.
Good to me.
All right.
Oh my god, I'm loving this trolling the patron shit.
Heavy rain soon.
We've got the 3 dynamics.
I've been trying so hard most of the campaign to figure out how can I communicate with his patron without looking at the skull, and then him doing the voice in the previous combat and now figuring out a little bit of how they have a connection. Now I can do bullshit like this. And it's a great way to get closer to Shush too. It's win-win.
All right. As I said, I'll be right back. I know that there's been a lot, so this is like I said, good time to stop because a lot has happened so far, and a lot more is still coming.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we got several more books to look through.
No!
I thought there's only 6 books total. I thought.
Right, but we're only looking at one right now.
Right. That's. Oh, you said several. I thought you said 7.
No, several.
Okay.
There's a 7th secret book. And if you send in the mail order codes from the back of all the others...
No. You got a variant cover.
They say there was a secret book that Shush had read, and it pissed the...
You're failing. Don't try. Just stop. Just stop.
No. It's in the recording forever now.
That it was a secret book.
Do you have
only read
performance?
Secret Nook.
Me personally, no.
No, shush.
Oh, also no.
Well, that's a damn shame, isn't it?
I mean, he would do good at it by virtue of a high charisma, but he doesn't have proficiency in it.
Yeah, no, I get that. I have things like that. No, not on this character. It's kind of like how most of my characters can do stealth just by virtue of having ridiculous dexterity or some weird racial trait. But I think Pip's pretty much got everything he's good at trained. Everything else is kind of terrible. I guess that's just what comes with being a rogue, though. I'm having fun.
Who knew one could have so much fun with Dragon Erotica?
I forgot I looted a doorknob.
Very important.
Why did I do that? Oh well, it's mine now. Oh, I forgot to edit the feet with the one from the other thing. Guess I'll do that now. The replacement from the old book. There we go. Don't need these in my bar anymore. I'll be right back real quick.
Alright, I'm back.
I also just got back.
Hi.
Oh no. Alright, Bio, you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alright. I think we're ready to get back into this then, so let me go ahead and get this restarted and
Yeah, I was about to say, I have both of them overlapping in a very weird way.
I know that is not, these two soundtracks, the break music and this soundtrack does not overlap well. However, slideshow's already turned off. Yeah. All right. So we just left off after essentially the revelation to Gaius about what's going on with him. And we're gonna get right back into the scene as Pip and Shush continue to troll the patron, and Gaius has his heart-to-heart with Oppo. Calligraphy, you had given Cyclone the details of what had happened, as his face kind of goes from that smug, cheeky grin that he always has to slight concern to just, I am very concerned. As legitimately the only way to phrase this, his character slips for a moment as he goes, "Is Rumpus okay?"
She kind of motions to like where he is right now, like this, kind of referring to like the emotional state he was in to be when they walked in the door. Not so much.
I'll be gentle about that with him. That's tough. Tougher than anything the Cyclone has been through. And he's in for a wild ride sometimes.
Speaking of wild rides, and then she tells her that's when she kind of shifts gears to the grand escape they had to try and lighten it a little bit.
All right. Eventually, the first person to come out of the room is not Rumpus, but Svella. As like an angry animal, she charges toward Calligraphy. Not like aggressively, but like I'm on the warpath.
You can kind of see Callie, like, when she sees her, she just, like, slips into, like, to attention. Like, please don't kick me in the knee. Please don't kick me in the knee. Please don't kick me. Because I'm sure she got kicked in the knee at least once during that week they hung out.
Mm-hmm. You sure did. As she kind of grabs you by your pant leg. As she kind of grabs you by your pant legs and kind of pulls you off to the corner, she's like, I will talk to you later, she says, pointing at Cyclone. As he just kind of stands, like, he's like, I don't want to get in the way of that. That's hurt zone right there.
Yeah, she just kind of, like, waves her arms and, like, that, oh, okay, like that harmless gesture.
She
you would treat with the
she gestures for you to get down to her level, and she's like, what in the fuck happened to Rumpus?
She'll, like, plop down. Just like she's in for a talk. Oh, well. We found his father's secret lab. And his father.
So he's alive then?
No, I didn't say that. We also found who killed his father. Or at least what killed his father, not who sent it out. Apparently the person who sent it is the one who raised the alarm with all the guards. They got a picture of all of us or something.
I knew that he was in trouble. I didn't realize that he was straight up wanted by the guards. This is bad. This is worse.
You're fucking telling me. All of us. I'm glad that you were able to get here safely. I don't know if they're going to fuck with you too.
It doesn't matter if they're going to fuck with me. They're already fucking with Rumpus. I've got beef with them for that. I promise to keep him safe.
Nish is trying to... So far, he's okay. He's...
The guards don't know that Nish is with us, and that's probably for the best.
Agreed.
Shit. I wasn't there to keep him safe. And she's just like grinding her foot into the ground.
She kind of
clearly frustrated with herself.
She'll reach out and kind of do the reassuring shoulder grip. We didn't know it was going to be that, obviously. But we made it back. I don't know.
How the hell is Rumpus even still trying to do anything? He should be...
She kind of just does that look off in the distance of... I mean... Wouldn't you be wanting to figure out how to avenge your family if it came to it? I don't think...
Ooh, that's a personal thing for her too.
Yeah.
When my mother died was when I realized that I was spiritually in tune with the Underdark and the creatures that live there. And you want to know the first creature that I found out that I was attuned to with?
Tilts her head.
Grey Renders.
Does Callie know what those are?
Roll me a nature check.
Oh, it's right here in front of me. Here. Nature. 21.
You know what a Grey Render is. They are like these huge hulking beasts with multiple eyes that are fiercely... They like bond with one person and then they become fiercely protective of them. At least until that person dies, and then they find a new person and they bond to that person.
Bonded for life.
It's funny to me, and almost a little sad. When I found that I had that bestial attunement within me, I thought that it would be that I would want to protect my father, and it helped. It helped us be safe as we made our way to the surface. But it didn't really click for me until I saw Rumpus. Then I understood what it meant, that fear, if you lose something that you really like. You see that person and you can't imagine your life without them. You don't want to see them get hurt no matter what. That feeling.
I don't know that feeling very well, but...
I'm not asking you to understand how I feel. That's not your job to do.
You can't stop all pain. That's not how nature works, unfortunately. I hope everyone's able to hear me, sorry.
Yeah, can everyone hear her? I apologize, I didn't mute my mic so you could be able to hear her.
Kind of.
Okay. I may...
You can't stop all pain. Pain is just something that happens in nature, whether you like it or not. Not always physical.
I don't know how I'm supposed to protect him from this pain. Even if it has to happen, I don't know how I'm supposed to help him. My family doesn't do this kind of thing.
You support him. You encourage them to keep going. That's all we can do. Is just keep going.
And as you finish that sentence to her, Rumpus comes from out of the back room. As he's standing up, proud as he can be, clearly, finally having gathered himself, he's like, "Alrighty, I have a head that I need to get cracking into, and you guys over there, you have some notes that you need to scurry through, and I believe we have one unopened letter that we need to read as well. What the hell are you guys talking about over there anyway?" Not looking at Svella and calligraphy, but looking towards like Shush and Pip and Gaius and Opal.
The water cooler crew over there.
Yeah.
Dragon erotica.
Alright, drop that. That is definitely what we need to not be thinking about right now.
Oh, shut up. I'm feeling better doing it. Okay, I had a horrible time in there too.
It was in your father's lab. It's probably very important, and we won't know until we read every single word in this book.
The dragon must have left a clue in here somewhere, and I don't think that part's a clue, and he just points at a certain part of the page.
I despise you both.
No, it's too big to be a clue. You're right.
And then Pip continuing the trolling nudges Shush. Hey, is your boss into that?
No, he's in my head.
No, Shush.
Alrighty. So moving this along, which I'm going to go ahead and move the scene along, even though this is funny. Which would you like to address first? The letter to a confidant or the Rufus conspiracy papers?
Let's go with the letter, because it should be shorter, because there's a lot of conspiracy papers.
Oh no. Well, okay. If it's clear that it's to a confidant, then that might help us understand some of the tracking he has.
You know what? I'm just gonna make both available to you guys right now.
Oh boy.
Okay, I could judge by that. Letter to a confidant. That's not that long. That's long.
It can be worse. Yeah, man.
And then there's
Alright,
the Rufus. And then there's the Rufus conspiracy papers. Keep in mind, these were like notes on a noteboard, so that's why you have that particular format.
Right.
Or it's
Like,
more, pins.
Should
So
I read both?
I think it'd be easier to go through the conspiracy papers first myself.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
All right. I will click to show this to players so that everyone on the screen can read it. And yeah, you can actually. Sorry, I'll take my volume down a bit.
I was gonna say you might want to expand it so they can see.
Oh yes, thank you.
Actually, I guess it's too long for to see the whole thing.
Yeah. All right. So I will have one person. All right. You get to read one of them, and then another person will read the other one. That's how I want to do this. So who?
I should read the letter because, I did the voice for the letters before.
All right. So who wants to read the conspiracy papers?
I can read them as long as you don't expect a voice.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
All right, so let's see. The matriarchy, the Gwimgram monarchy. So I should ask, are these like connected? Is that what?
There were strings, but obviously when you tore down the board,
It took off the pins for it.
yeah.
But it's just kind of like these are basically each linked to each other in this order kind of thing.
It's likely that these were linked in some kind of way, is the best way to think about it.
Okay. So we made it to the Gwimgran monarchy. Who is Qatar? Oh boy, we know that name. Duke Televistus Gwimgram II. King Yafan Gwimgram V. Queen Nefina Gwimgram. The Council. Constructs. Demons? Devils. Ozus. Paperclipping. Several crates filled with illicit tomes of rituals detailing dark magic and the use of ritual to summon demons and devils caught in transport to Topperport. Rituals. Who is Bizo? Kobolds? 4 armed men. Strange technology. Another paper clipping. Several sets of secret documents from Gwimgram headed to the matriarchy mysteriously vanish. Officials at Dweevron stumped. Thank you. Round stone. Oh boy, is it smooth? S-core. F-core. An obituary in the paper. Niran Gobblefop. Farcorin Flickerlight. Cohen Pomplegomple.
And then it just
etc.
continues.
So it's just a list of just the obituaries cut
Yes.
out. Okay. Academy of Rodot Kime. Prince Zorzif Gwimgram. Another paper clipping. Matriarchy. What came before Gwimgram? The Great Techno Boom. Another paper clipping. Cultist and Man, I already dropped it, sorry. Cause massive riot killing thousands. Ooh. Another paper clipping. Cult of Ozus still strong in Duivant. I'm going to mess that one up forever. Hundreds of pounds of unmarked metals and produce confiscated, all labeled with emblem of Ozus. Is there an image of it?
No.
Okay. Paper clipping. The vulture eliminates last base of Cult of Ozus. Leader still remains at large. You can see Callie just stops at this one for a moment. Who is Himnox? Black Sun Cult. New is old. What the fuck is new is old? Paper clipping. Several mysterious disappearances of hospital staff after birth of Prince Zorzif, which we went over. Several paper clippings. Mysterious winged beasts seen flying around castle skies at night. Top report experiences sudden boom as crops yield more and fishing proves bountiful. Televistus comes out as staunch adversary to construct right movement. Oh boy. King Gwyngram publicly lambasts anti-construct right supporters. Sets in motion bill to give sentient constructs more rights. Top report citizens stricken with mysterious illness as disappearance in the local area increase. Let's see, from several different papers. Gargantuan blue dragon sighted heading east in Aran Desert. Who's lying? Alright. Guys, there's a lot here.
And just take some time to discuss that amongst yourselves before we get to the letter, because I want to wait on the letter just a slight bit.
How much of...
Oh.
Like for the paper clippings, it's not just the headline for all of them, right? It's more the article itself too, or...
Sometimes it has the article, sometimes it's just the headline. Because the headline is probably all that's really important. Or, you gotta realize...
The only thing that the journalist said of importance.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha.
Do I even know where some of these places are that are being mentioned?
Yeah.
Dweevront is the major port city that is probably like on the northern, like not the northeasternmost tip of the Eastlands, but like fairly northeast. It's like right before where like you get super dense jungle and such. It's a very bountiful port city. And you've been there before, Callie. Your father did a lot of business there.
Oh, Pip's been there too.
Yes, he has. Oh no, this was Pip when Pip was on his random ass adventure by himself. He was Dweevront.
Okay. What are the dates?
No dates. That's the part that makes this the most fucked up. It's like, God damn it, Rufus. I know you memorized the dates, but that doesn't help.
Especially if you add new is old. No, it's like, what the fuck does that mean? Even if we know that it dates.
Well, it's underneath the Black Sun cult.
These are not in order.
Yeah, this is scattered.
Yep.
It's a scatter.
Who's the vulture?
Oh boy. Pip, because you've been to Dweevront, you can roll me if Gaius is actually asking that question, you can roll me a history DC 20.
All right. Who's the vulture?
All right. Okay.
Nope. Sorry, Reno. You have no idea who the vulture is. I'm looking at somebody though. Are you going to?
Deception?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know he was muted. I have no fucking clue who that is.
Sort of looking at who is him and just kind of thumbing the symbol that he's still wearing under the cloak. Well, I guess we've got at least one answer to all this crap. Sort of.
Mysterious beasts seen flying around the castle skies at night. So King Gwengram was in support of construct rights, given he's setting up the bills in motion to get more. Telvestus is against it. Why is the top of part 1 being highlighted like that?
Gaius, you've been in this area. You can actually roll me a history check. 13. You get some details, but not all of them with this one. You do know that Topperport is where Duke Televistus started his pretty much started his small beginnings from. Like, he was first given charge of Topperport, and then he moved on to other places.
Sorry, could you repeat that? Headset cut out for a second.
Duke Televistus, Gwyngram II, Topperport is where he started. That is the first place he was given charge of, and then he worked his way up from there.
So the sudden boom leading directly into him becoming the staunch adversary and having power is potentially a through line after stuff disappeared in that area. Is that logical connections to make?
I don't know. It's not my connection to make.
Conspiracy board!
I'm a kind person who likes to make his players think.
Kind. So kind.
Topperport's citizens stricken with mysterious illness. It, depending on the order of these things, tells a story. Just depends which order it is. Gargantuan dragon scenes heading east in the Aran Desert. Glanced at Oppo. Where was that valley?
The Ajabu Valley is in the eastern section of the Aran Desert, I believe is what you guys call it. It's also to the west of the big lake that you guys call a sea. I believe it's called Motkar Sea. It's kind of in between the desert and the sea in a mountainous kind of range. It's one of the few places that you actually get, well, forest without having to go over, go through the Motkar Sea.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. He says, nodding.
If only we had the dates. God damn it, Rufus.
Noah's Old could apply to a lot of things here.
Yeah.
Hemnox, for one, given it started to crop up, but he's actually ancient, given then he kind of stops. And then this cult, and this part.
S-Core, F-Core, Roundstone, potentially the same section. And the Techno Boom. What is the Great Techno Boom?
Pip,
Don't we?
you have context. Yeah, Pip, you know the context of this because you sat through that lecture.
Yeah. That was when the gnomes got all their technology, right?
Mm-hmm. When they experienced a sudden technological boom out of nowhere.
Yeah, Pip would mention that and what he learned through the history. I think he had the date for it too, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Yeah.
Let me see. It's in my. It's in my notes. You guys have it. Should have it in your notes.
Yeah. He just passes the date on, whatever it was.
I think that if we get information related to this stuff, we add the dates to these papers, just so we have some organization there.
Maybe Ledger can help us with
Perhaps.
God, I just had the word for
cross-referencing.
Thank you, cross-referencing.
I got you.
I got halfway through the word.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close the Rufus conspiracy papers, and I'm gonna say that, like, kind of spending that time like that. That's like an hours of work of just like Jesus.
Yeah, that's a finish this conspiracy board over the course of the campaign task right there.
Mm-hmm. All right, now a letter to a confidant.
Oh boy, I took a glance at this. Hello, yeah, Mom. I would like to once more thank you for your time and keeping me sane at these trying times. Arguably, the first letter since we ever traded was very important to me, and I hope you remember that. My research has been doing well, though I feared the scale menace is not too far off my tail. I try to be more coherent in these private letters between us, but I discovered something that has me quite excited. Now, you may ask, what has Rufus so excited? The birds aren't real. Really, they've never been real, as you can see from the lack of teeth. Of course, this was obvious to enlightened men such as you and me, but these things take time to show the masses, And without pulling the pieces together, nobody would understand why they had no teeth. Unbelievably, it was the isopods. God damn it. Some prefer tongues, but the ancient isopods, under the orders of the progenitor lizard people, stole their teeth. Believe me when I say that removing birds to use as spies was genius, but Rufus is always one step ahead of them.
Shush, open your mouth. No teeth.
Lizard people surely go to no ends to get to me and to spy on my work, but while they're busy playing checkers in their shadowy kingdom checkers in their shadowy kingdoms, I've been playing chess using their shadow kingdoms against one another. Every day becomes harder and harder to keep manipulating them, but I must persevere. Should I come to it that I meet my end, I expect you to know what to do with Rumpus, and what I've already told you. How long away is that day beyond me? Ends are often closer than they seem. Tomorrow is not promised to anybody, so we must make the best of today. On the topic of today, I'd love to hear back from you about any of my projects you're working on. Or any projects you're working on. Leading the Inventors Hall is not an easy task, and I hope you've had time to work on some of your own personal works instead of helping others. Dutiful as you may be, it is important to make time for yourself. Terrible as it is to rack my brain, even if I have to tinker in between my time of uncovering these hateful truths. I hate to say it, but I'm finding less time to tinker nowadays because of the sheer volume of truth to reveal. I need to scroll down, god damn it. Format your letters better, even when you're insane, Rufus.
Nope.
Oh god.
God damn it. Effort is not lost in this, but needed to maintain a friendship as close as ours. So maybe have dinner sometimes when I'm not as busy in my labs. And you are not married to your work. True marriage to your work is best avoided. Lest you catch bitter feelings, it seems to take a lifetime to overcome. No loose ends here, though, or so I hope. We're always too busy for dinner nowadays, so it doesn't mean I value any less, and wouldn't want to spend more time helping you if I could. If this is the last letter we share, then I hope it came across clear to you. Best friends like you come once in a lifetime, and if what Corvus gave me was wit, you and Rumpus, well, I certainly was one blessed gnome. There's some not capitalized letters here.
Interesting that. All right, now I'm going to give you guys some time to think about that letter.
Well, like time to decipher it.
Yep.
I get dead air in the recording for like 10 minutes while we do this.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say one thing. Is there? May as well ask. Is there any thieves' cant visible to our people who know?
No thieves can't. No thieves can't. Otherwise, it would have been obvious immediately.
Okay, I was making sure.
This requires some out of game actual thinking to figure out what is going on here. Because yes, I won't be coy with you. There is something here, and when you notice it, you're going to probably be upset.
Drink your Ovaltine.
I understood that reference.
Oh god, this is gonna take...
I don't think it's as complicated as you think it is, from what I'm starting to see. But we'll see in a second.
Let me see.
Do I get to roll for a hint?
I'm pretty sure it's just capital letters. I'm trying to see here.
I will allow you to roll for a hint.
Straight intelligence or
Investigation.
Wow, same thing.
18.
I wish I rolled that on the dragon erotica. Goddamn.
Okay, so one thing that is definitely noticeable. Every other time the punctuation is incredibly accurate. There is one exception, and it seems to be, and it's definitely intentional. This is a handwritten letter. So it clearly wasn't like he mistyped this on a typewriter. There is a point where it seems fairly coherent right after there is the a lack of a capital letter. The other thing I would say is that there is definitely a subtext going on to the things that are being mentioned. If you guys need another hint later on, you can roll me an investigation.
I think I got it.
I think I'm barking up the wrong tree with what I thought it might have been.
I will be nice. You are very close. What you said was very close.
There's a lot of eyes in here, and I'm wondering if they're a number, but I'm not 100% sure. That's what. It's pretty close to what I got. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically what I have as well. If you get rid of the eyes.
Yep. I'll be nice. Yes, that's it. That is exactly it.
I had pretty much that.
The second sentence is the hint for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I had it pretty close, but it seems like Bio got it first. But it'd be amusing to have them come to the conclusion at the same time.
Guys, looks up the letter.
Yeah.
Who's she?
Oh no.
I would love to.
Oh. He talked about marriage at the end. Could it be... Hey, Rumpus, what does your mom do?
Rumpus looks up from the table where he's currently cracking the head of the H4 infiltrator, as he's called it. It's called cracking is what he's doing. As he's like, she's a politician. Why do you ask?
Well.
What is this scribble at the end here? She like points at those last letters. Yeah, the NWIB.
The hell if I know. I don't know what this just seems like random gobbledygook that my father was apparently sending to Yamam. I don't know what Mr. Broadcraft has to do with
Guys
this.
is just gonna flip over a piece of paper that he just wrote down every single capital letter on, including the uncapitalized N and the WIB.
Oh, I just did it up here, and he taps his head.
Oh dear. But there's no definitive proof that it was my mom. It's just she. She could be anybody.
That's
How many girls does your dad know, or did your dad know? Sorry.
That is the most awkward question I ever wanted to answer. It's a lot more than I want to admit. An
Any of them
uncomfortable
have
amount.
initials?
I understand that. That is not a good question to ask anyone about their parents. I just...
Also, that would insinuate that he considered my mom a confidant of some kind, right? Why would he trust her? They hated each other. That's why they divorced. People don't get divorced if they don't hate each other.
What if they got divorced to protect each other?
Then why would he? It's clear he's trying to wrap his brain around this. He understands what you're saying, but there is definitely an extreme amount of denial that can't be the case. And he's trying to find any way to justify that in his head.
Look, I know you're mentally torn apart. I'm not doing much better, frankly, and I'm falling to pieces here. Literally. He just kind of rattles his arm. But, given everything else you found with the conspiracy series and the things hidden in them and all that, is it really that far-fetched?
Rumpus seems to double down on something mentally, as you can see that he goes, I'm not talking about this right now. If I can, I'll ask your mom about it tomorrow. But right now, that's not my priority. I'm not here to speculate about that. I'm not saying my mom was a saint. She kicked me out on the streets when I failed my classes. But she's not a monster. Let me crack this fucking H4 whatever skull open so I can get this information. And the general attitude is he probably is acknowledging that what you're saying is a possibility.
But it is not the time for it.
It's either not the time for it, or he is not going to accept that without some much harder proof.
Yeah. Callie is cringing, and she is warily looking at Svella. Because she is about to get kicked. And she knows it.
Yeah.
She should ask Svella.
Svella does shoot you an angry look, but for the most part, she just goes behind Rumpus, putting a hand on his shoulder, seeing that he's tensed up the way he has, as he kind of untenses and continues his work.
Trying to take Rumpus's mind off of it a bit, Pip will, lean over, I don't know, a table or shelf or whatever's nearby, looking down at him. So he said he could do that to living constructs too, right? But it's not something nice, not very nice?
Yes.
If it makes you feel any better, you can do it for me for all the shit I just gave you.
Rumpus continues working on the H4 Infiltrator. He doesn't pause doing that, but he does answer your question. He's like, I wouldn't do that to another living construct ever again.
Probably make him feel better too, and then he points with his thumb at, not at Shush, but at Shush's backpack.
What the hell? What's in his backpack that you're pointing at?
Don't worry about it. Just mess around.
That is the second time I've heard that today. If I hear it one more time, I am going to start worrying about it. Anyway, the cracking process, it's not pleasant. It's essentially I am pulling everything that you have seen and transmitting it at once. When you do it to a living construct, you are killing them.
Well, I probably don't want to do that then.
The Gwimgran monarchy, at least up to around 30 years ago, when they, maybe a little earlier, I can't remember the exact time the bill was passed, we deemed it, what's the word they used for it? My mind's scattered. What would you say?
Unethical?
Unethical, thank you, that's the one. They deemed it unethical, and honestly, us artificers who are tasked with doing it, we always felt that such was the case, but we weren't exactly in a position to oppose the orders of those above us. We cracked a lot of sentient construct skulls in order to wipe their memories so that they can then be repurposed into non-sentient constructs. I did it. My dad did it.
Pip kind of squints as much as he can without eyelids, if that makes sense. Like, kind of leaning more toward over the shelf or whatever. Are there any signs, are there any way to tell if that's been done?
Actually, there should be. If they're still using their original body.
Can you check me at some point?
After I finish cracking this skull, sure, I can check and see if you have signs of tampering. Mind you, if the person who did it was skilled, they might have patched you back up in such a way I might not be able to tell, but if they were sloppy about it, I'll certainly be able to have a look and see.
Alright, appreciate that. Goofball that I am, you kind of saw the serious shit down there, so...
We're both going through some hard times right now.
Little bit of amnesia, a little bit of things coming back sometimes, you know, not great. Kind of wondering why now.
I envy right now, and I know it's not the nicest thing to say, I envy that you don't remember something.
Kind of comes back at inconvenient times, though.
His face is going through, like, smile, waver, smile, frown, I'm about to cry and break down. Yes, it really does come back at inconvenient moments, doesn't it?
Hang in there, man.
I'm trying.
And Pip will go back to Shush.
Callie will make eye contact with the Cyclone
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of jut her head because she's already done a bad.
Yeah, as the Cyclone's like, the Cyclone would like to entertain you with a magic trick using cards as he produces a bag of like a stack of cards from his jacket. And also give Rumpus some private time so he can do what he's doing in private. He starts gesturing with his head. He's like, leave. That's your free out.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. An hour passes, and by this point it's like midnight-ish time. Midnight-ish, 1 a.m. time, as Rumpus says, alright, I've cracked it. Now, before I complete the cracking process, there are a few things you should know. Once this cracking is done, these memories are wiped. I can't get them back. So, we only have one shot at this. So you better remember whatever this thing is about to say.
Pip will pull out his... I think he has a journal in his inventory somewhere, and a pen.
Guys is doing the same.
Alright, and I need to change the music.
Yeah, I did buy a book. Okay, good. It's checking.
And close this. It might be a bit quiet, might pick up. I might need to turn that up because it's not picking up well in the recording. So. So, Rumpus finishes the process. As the eye lights up for a bit, flickering, as you hear something like a clicking sound as you see the audio device that he has currently set up to it, obviously some form of tinkerer's tool, as it begins. Are you sure these things are worth the money? It cost me a small fortune to buy just these 4 from that damn Loxodon. You hear something like the sound of claws running across metal. As a little bit of a... I'm certain that these will be a worthwhile investment. Real assassins can be messy. They can be captured and bribed. But these things follow orders precisely with little that can be done to extract what they know. Why not just use demons or devils then? No physical evidence, even if they fail. Always to summoning more devils with you. It's not surprising that your ill-cultivated fell apart if you relied on them for this much. You can't trust demons and devils. Demons are never loyal, and devils are only as loyal as the wording of their contracts. Then what does that make you, Bizo? Neither. I'm a Yugoloth. My loyalty is garnering favor to those above me, and information the dirty little secrets you've given me are more than enough payment. The knowledge that King Gwyngram I used Gith technology he bought from the Loxodons is worth that much? No. But the knowledge that the matriarchy had that technology even back then, now that's a valuable secret. And that's truly all you want from me? No. But the war and chaos you are seeking to instigate with your takeover, and knowing my name will be tied to it among the other Yugoloths, I will be remembered as the Yugoloth that collapsed the monarchy. Oh, the things that means for me you can't even imagine. I just don't understand the point of these things. Demons and devils serve you, no? Wouldn't it have been cheaper just to use them? Loyalty is not so cheap. And unlike that half-spawn abomination piloting the half-corpse, you'll find it hard to get a servant that loyal. You watch your tongue. That half-spawn is still my child. Oh, I forgot important to you. Your affair with the Queen. Trivial detail, barely worth noting. Changing topics before I lose my temper. Did the Loxodon tell you how they worked? They are on right now. Currently, waiting orders. But you'll need this. As you hear something like a jingling sound, as it's clearly being passed between hands. How do I... State your name, clearly, and tell them your order whilst you hold the amulet. How will I know if they... The amulet magically links you to them. Come on, simple stuff. Use your brain. You have that, don't you? Passively, you will receive updates as they complete tasks, but you can actively look and hear through them, should you desire to do so. Yes, should you desire to do so. Refined Gith technology truly is a gift. Shame the matriarchally suddenly grew conscious about the heaps of metal. Oh, there is a caveat, always a caveat. Caveat in this. If they get caught in a non-detection or anti-magic area, or have the magic that binds to them, that amulet dispelled, they will shut down after finishing the previously executed orders, and you won't be able to give them more. And how likely is that to happen? Likely, not unlikely. It depends. It takes somebody very paranoid or incredibly powerful to have such measures ready. And as long as they are to kill at night, the target shouldn't even see them coming. So take that risk of it, what you will. Yes, what you will. I'm having them kill mostly nobles and loose ends. I doubt such a caveat as you say is likely to even come up. We'll start off with something simple. Simple tasks, something that should prove how capable they are. Well then, give the orders. Stop hesitating. Very well, then Bizo. I, Televistus Gwyngram II, command you to eliminate Naren Gobblefop. And the recording goes on. Each time, it's an I, Televistus Gwyngram II, command you, and then another name, and then another name, And this goes on for 40 instances after the first one. And then the 42nd, I, Televistus Gwyngram II, command you to murder Rufus Creevil. And then it stops.
So there were some words.
There sure were some words that were said.
Do I know about Hugolas?
That sounds like an Arcana or Religion check.
It does.
Actually, I like this music being what it is for right now. Ooh, that's a pass. So you know that Yugolas are like a creature from the creatures from the outer realms, not quite devils, not quite demons, but still very much evil. Sometimes they work as mercenaries, sometimes they work for other nefarious purposes, but truly what they thrive on and what they love doing is causing chaos in some form or fashion. An organized form of chaos, the collapse of a civilized society.
No specifics though, just that category stuff.
Just that category stuff.
Alright.
Can I roll just to see if she knows that already?
You might know what a Yugoloth is, so yeah.
Okay.
Arcana or Religion, your choice.
They are the same for me.
I want to do something too, but I won't interrupt.
Okay. You know that a Yugoloth is an evil creature. That is all you know.
Got it.
Shush, your patron is laughing and cackling.
At some point during the listing of names, Pip probably would have stopped writing down names, and he's trying to remember things, writing other things down, because some of that other stuff, he's wondering, if does anything sound familiar, like this mention of anti-magic fields, other things like that, so he's trying to remember, does he remember anything at all about, where he woke up, other than trying to kill guys?
Ooh, I would ask you to roll a wisdom with disadvantage.
Yeah, that makes sense. Still gotta try. Where is it? Here we go. Nope.
It's fuzzy. You can't remember anything. Nothing of the details.
Can I ask if it's very clear that Televistus' voice is the voice we heard? It is?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, he literally announced himself.
I know. Well, no, I meant not on this recording. I meant saying,
Yes.
I know your faces now.
Yes, it was Duke Televistus.
Okay. I just meant, making sure it was
Or
the
as
same
you might
person.
know, or as you might know him. Let me pull up that article really quickly. Let's see. It should be here. Yep, there we go. Or as you might know him, Vizier Televistus Gwyngram II. He's a council member. And that's knowledge that you guys don't have to roll a history check for it. You know that. As there's it's like the room has gone cold, silent, and dead, and all you can hear is the sound of the rainfall outside. As Oppo is the first going, I don't understand the context for what's going on, but I know what a Yugoloth is, and that's bad.
Guys just kind of had his thumbs underneath his chin, holding his face, staring straight forward after putting down his notebook.
Who is this Duke Televistus Gwyngram II? Esfella, that's the king's brother.
Pip will slam his journal shut and just go up to Gaius. Gaius! What do you remember? What you found me? What do you remember anything? I can't remember a damn thing.
Can I think back and think about the other mechanisms that I spotted in that place?
Let's see. I'll let you roll a wisdom with disadvantage as well. Nothing specific comes to mind.
I can't remember specifics right now.
And he just kind of like punches the air and just walks a few steps away.
I'm sorry. I'm still trying to process exactly what's been said here.
No, I get it.
I'll try again later.
The Cyclone slowly rises up from the cards he was playing with Callie, as at some point during that conversation, he dropped the cards. As in the not Cyclone voice, he goes, "We are in way deeper than I thought. I had to... Ledger has to know about this immediately. He's, clearly Cyclone's on the verge of losing his shit, too. Meanwhile, you notice that Rumpus is just frozen where he's at.
Guys will get up, approach, and sit next to him. I can't.
He's breathing heavy.
Just kind of puts an arm around him. I can't say that I fully feel the same level of everything that you do right now, but this is what your father wanted to fight. I think it's worth fighting, don't you?
He slowly turns his head towards you, and, like, he's trying to smile the best he can, but, like, meanwhile, his eyes are, like, streaming tears. He's like, "We're dead."
No. Not yet. And until then, we can keep moving. We can't just give up.
I don't want to give up. But you read those notes that you found in the lab. The king's already dead. That means the Duke's been doing his thing this entire time.
Nodding.
Rumpus, is there any...
We're fighting the entire kingdom. We're fighting the entire Gwyngram monarchy.
When you're extracting these, was there any date to them? Does it work like that? I don't know anything about it.
There's no dating mechanism, and if there...
Whatever, let's look at the articles. Maybe it's on
The
there.
ones from the actual journal had, like, confirmations of deaths,
Obituary.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
they
The
had
actual
obituaries on
Those
them.
would have dates.
Yeah, those do have dates.
And
Yeah,
I
what's the-
believe one of them is, in fact, the first one that was named.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's the earliest one on
Yep.
there?
I had
Near-
that one like in my head.
Yep, Near and Gobblefop.
How long ago was that one?
That one would have been around 35 years ago at this point.
Oh god. And then Pip and Gaius met, what was it? You said 4 years ago, was it? Or something like that? Or was it
Yeah,
sooner?
close to
sooner?
4 or 5 years ago, if I recall
Yeah.
from Gaius' backstory.
Pip just kind of rubs the side of his head. Ah, fuck.
So while they're dating stuff, Callie will pick up the paper clipping for the vulture, and she'll say, "Well, this will be less than 30
sorry.
years."
This is probably less than 30 years ago.
Do you know the...
I
He's going to turn to Pip instead.
don't want to talk about why I know this right now.
Glance back over his shoulder. nodding slightly before turning to Pip. Are you alright?
I don't remember when I was in that cave. I just remember waking up. And I only met you 4 or 5 years ago, guys. And this guy got sold a bunch of shit that looked like me. About 35 years ago, potentially.
That doesn't mean anything. It could mean something, but it doesn't mean it yet.
Guys, I'm an assassin construct. I know how to make poison. I know how to fight and kill.
That doesn't mean you did it for this guy.
Not originally, but who knows what I was doing between 500,000 whatever years ago and 35. Or 5. Ugh.
Gus will pause, consider, and then shake his head.
You know what? Did I ever tell you the first thing I wanted to do when I saw you? We were all pleasant when we met. My first instinct when I saw you through the scrying orbs of that place was to gut you. But I didn't know what the hell you were, and then I ended up talking. Basically what I'm saying is if you didn't have scales, you would have been dead.
Guys will glance aside. I don't care if you were used by this person. What's important is who you are now.
Right, but if he's got some kind of control device, that's not great.
But
Sorry, you go.
yeah.
But is there... Do we know if they can control sentient constructs like you?
Well, a guy in the church said my spark woke up all those years ago before I woke up there, right? Like 500 or more?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it depends. I'd imagine it's some kind of magic compulsion rather than direct control. Or maybe I can resist it, who knows?
It's Rumpus, who's despite everything that he's letting sink in, walks over to you and puts like a hand on hip as he goes, because that's as far as up as he can reach. Goes, I'm not going to let that situation happen to you, Pip. If I can do something about it, we are not having this conflict directly ourselves. Cyclone, you said that your contact for these people, their contact is some powerful member. Surely he can do something about this, right? As Cyclone turns to him, I don't know. It's complicated. The group that we work for, I'll just be the Probot Collective. I don't think they've ever taken on a task as big as a conspiracy as big as this. We're talking about a person who's killed the king, killed the queen, inserted himself into their position and holds all their power, and on top of that is a member of the goddamn council. That's a lot to overcome.
Well, let's take it one step at a time then.
Agreed.
We need to get to safety. We need to do a few things.
We have to get as far out of this town as we can. None of us are safe anymore.
I think at the very least, we may have an opportunity to do that.
I still want you to check, see what the hell. Maybe if you could figure out what I maybe
promised
forget.
I would do that for you, and I'm going to do it now.
I do appreciate that. Do I need a chair or whatever? He just kneels.
Yeah. As he actually kind of brings you over to the table where he had cracked the H4 infiltrator. As head kind of lays next to it.
Well, can't say I like being on the medical slab, but it is what it is.
There's a 20-minute examination of him using the tools to kind of poke and prod around before eventually he pauses and says, "Well, Pip, it's odd, to say the least. The short answer is yes. But the long answer is I don't understand the how. It wasn't standard cracking practice that was used on you. At least not the techniques that I was taught by my father. This is different."
Well, that explains why I'm not dead.
My memories keep coming back.
Some kind of imperfect one, maybe.
It's like someone it's like someone went through the steps to try and wipe your memory, but they didn't follow through on it perfectly. There are marks here that even indicate that there was intentionally they didn't wipe all your memories.
Selective.
But that level of expertise, even an artificer as good as your mom Broadcraft couldn't do that. And he's the most powerful artificer I've ever met.
Is it safe for Pip to sit up at this point?
Yes.
Oh yeah, and he'd sit up. Well, that's... I don't even know where to begin with that. So some incredibly legendary artificer did it. Or at least someone with the same skill set.
They'd literally have had to have your schematics to be this level of precise.
Pip pulls that scroll case out again. Well, do you know what this is? I have no idea what it is. It was on me when I woke up. And he puts the impossibly complex device schematics down.
You put down this piece of paper in front of him, and I've been waiting for you to find someone who's capable of doing this, and Rumpus is that person. As he looks at it, then looks at you. Pip, these are designs on how to craft a construct. These are your schematics.
Well, I guess I know how whoever did it figured out how, then. Pip's kind of just trying to take this in. Why did they leave them on me?
That's a very good question, Pip. Who are you for real? As he seems a bit apprehensive.
I've been asking myself that since we were in the lab.
As far as I care, he's a friend.
I'm not going to treat him as not an acquaintance. I have no intention of making you my enemy right now. I think that right now I'm looking for as many allies as I can get. And as long as that blade arm of yours isn't being driven through my back, you're as close as a friend as I can get right now.
I'll tell you everything we found out about me, if that'll help.
He thinks about that hard as he's like, I think I'm better off not knowing. At least not until it's relevant.
He hops up from the table, kind of shaking off the grim demeanor of the conversation. Well, if those are my schematics, then it should make it a lot easier to put that cube in, right?
I guess fate just worked out that way, didn't it? As once again, Shush, your patron has gone from like light cackling to full cackle.
He just kind of like knocks the side of his head.
As Rumpus says, I can, well, with your schematics, I can try and make the black box compatible with you if you give me some time.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, if it can make me invisible or whatever. I mean, again, I'm a little worried about side effects, not gonna lie, but I mean, we don't have a lot of resources right now. We need all the help we can get, right? Right? And he kind of looks to Shush.
Shush just kind of raises his hands in surrender.
Right. How worried should I be, Bird?
I wouldn't worry about it.
Alright, then I won't worry about it. Let's go. Let's do it.
I inside that.
That is up to the other player to decide if they want to make a deception versus an insight. I think that is UA's called to make.
Yeah, I'll make a deception. That sounds like fun.
Okay.
I'm good at those, though.
He is. Yep.
Nope. I'm still gonna worry.
Nope. Your concern is valid. As Rumpus is about to get to work on the black box, Spella slams her hands on top of his, and she's like, "No. No more of this. All of you, every one of you, go to bed. Go to sleep.
Oh, come on! It's dungeon loot.
Go to bed right now. You need to sleep. Every last one of you. This has been a day, and what we have to fight against right now, just to escape and get our freedom, is insurmountable. We're talking about someone who has the potential to control the entirety of the guard, controls this entire city. We're talking about the Gwyngram monarchy. We'll be lucky if we can find a sandboat that can get us out of here."
Guys will tilt his head, thinking back how many days it's been since a certain request was sent.
I need context for certain.
Yeah, you need to
He recommended 2 people to pilot a sandboat. To Adam.
You did. You certainly did.
Perhaps there might be one. A cyclone.
What do you require of the cyclone?
When you send your letter to Ledja, if you could request boat pickup and say that the need is dire and Gaius remembers.
I will make sure that this message is delivered to the best of its ability. My solemn hope at this point is that we actually survive long enough for them to follow through on the message. Fuck. As that conversation is still going on. Oh, sorry. You were gonna.
I was gonna say Callie's going to cast Goodberry before Svella does any sort of shooing.
Yeah.
Away,
Yeah.
because
you hand a Goodberry to everyone here who can eat. As fella, once again, go to bed. All of you. If I catch any one of you awake, I am going to shove my foot so far up your ass, you will not be able to walk straight.
Look, I know you got my schematics, but that's anatomically impossible.
I will find a way.
Fine. I'll sleep. And he puts, quotes around that. But you cube me first thing in the morning, yeah?
Rumpus gives a nod. As you guys go to bed for the time being. And you get a long rest.
Pip is gonna do a sentry's rest wherever the hell Shush is sleeping and stare at the bag like a creep.
He's a creep. I won't sing more of that song on the grounds that I don't want to risk it. There we go. I need to get other music.
It's both for trolling the patron, but also genuine interest at this point. It's not just the trolling. Very curious about it.
Little There we go, about right there. All right. So you guys do in fact get a long rest. So full HP recovered, full spell slots recovered, and you guys wake up despite the dread and doom and gloom. You wake up feeling more powerful. As Shush, you wake up and everything's dark, like it's supposed to be.
Oh, no.
As your patron says, I have adjusted your gifts so that you can properly function. When we need to adjust your power again, we will do so. In the future, I may return the dark sight to you so that you can see in the darkness, but for right now, survival is top priority.
If there's an adjustment, then what replaced it?
You'll find out. For torturing with that book, I won't tell you. So you'll have to find out at some point in the future. But do enjoy my weapon, he says as he goes quiet.
Great.
Out of character, obviously, you know, but...
Right. I know.
Yeah. I know, but Shush doesn't. Alright.
I just know it's dark.
Alrighty.
Sorry.
No. I'll let you guys go, then I'll say what I gotta say.
Is it obvious at all that Shush is he like awake? Like, cause I said, Pip's staring like he doesn't really sleep. He's just sentry rest, right? So like, is Shush awake, or is this some kind of dream? Like, what does Pip see?
Shush woke up. What Pip saw is that Shush woke up, kind of seemed to panic a bit, like something had changed, and then like immediately calmed down.
Except now it's dark, so now the panic is back.
Yeah.
Well, Pip will like extend out of his sentry rest. All right.
It's dark.
Oh, it's nighttime.
I don't like the dark.
What? Really?
Really?
Pip pulls out his lamp and lights it.
Alright. You pull out your lamp and light it, providing a little bit of illumination as you hear a groan. Too bright. Turn off the light. You're hurting my kobold eyes, you son of a bitch.
Oh, sorry. You'll like step between him and Shush to sort of cover the light with his cloak.
Opal rolls back over, pulling like a tarp over him, and says, "Thank you."
Shush goes over to the light and Pip.
That's the angriest Oppo has been.
Yes. Opal, son of a bitch, you're blinding me.
I remember that's complaining from the camp.
Really though, Shush, you're good.
Maybe.
Maybe.
So the one thing that you guys notice when you guys wake up, you guys are all, because you all wake up at approximately the same time because, you know, talking and such. Oppo is there. Oppo is there. Svella's in this room with you. Cyclone's in here. And you guys are all here. You do not see Rumpus. But you do hear, passive perception for guys, you do hear the sounds of something like shuffling in the back room.
Goss will get up and go investigate.
Svella looks at you. Why are you too tired for this? She rolls over. You go into the back room where, you know, him and Svella had went off to. As you open the door, and you see like a miniature workshop of some kind. As you can see, he's got like some tools in his hand and he's working on something. As he looks at you, and your passive perception, obviously you pick this up, he didn't sleep. He very obviously didn't sleep. He waited for everyone else to fall asleep, and then he started working on the box.
Oh, this.
It should be
Darn.
compatible with Pip now, he says, lifting it up. It won't function the same on him, because he doesn't have the power supply on him. I borrowed his schematics again. Tell him I'm sorry. He says as he takes the paper and hands it, the paper that he had stolen from Pip. I'm sorry, he did.
That's fine, my perception sucks.
He's like, I borrowed this from Pip, you can give it back to him. The box should be compatible with him now. It won't work exactly the same, but it should function to have an effect. He says as he's just like blinking slowly. I'm so tired.
Midnight Oil is going to get to you.
I
someday.
couldn't sleep. I kept on having nightmares every single time I tried.
Understandable.
Some strange creature like the picture that was on the stone tablet thing.
Did you tell it no dice?
I did. But it was like there was someone standing behind me and he's like crying. It sounded like my dad.
Guys will come over and hug him.
I think I'm just mentally broken.
Broken things can be repaired. It just takes time. And support.
He nods his head and he's like, let me get this installed on Pip. Call it a surprise. This fella's gonna kick me so hard in the shin.
And
I
then
won't
you'll
be.
on
She'll
the
have to
floor.
carry me.
Yeah, then you'll have no choice but to lay down.
Alright. So, as he's attempting to... as he walks over... As, you guys are all coming together again as a group. And, Rumpus hasn't installed the device, but he's informed Pip that he's made the device compatible with him.
Mm-hmm.
As that happens, Rumpus looks up immediately. As he looks around, someone just triggered my alarm.
Time to move.
Shit, how long will this take to put in?
My alarm? It's a spell I cast.
No, the cube. Can I use it now? Oh, God,
I don't have time to install this right now. Damn it!
Well, no, I understand. I wasn't sure. I don't know how it works. I don't know if it's complicated or
it's
just
okay.
plug it in.
I understand. We need to go. As he picks up his sending stone, as you can see, he's making a call at the same time. Oh, you're just now waking up. Oh, for the love of fuck, Nish. Yes. Oh, fuck! Why? No, there's no way we can meet up. I care for you too. Bye.
I love you, friend. Yeah, fuck you.
Alright.
Damn it.
The guards are on their way here, but it's not the guards that we have to worry about. This morning they put up bounties for us. Dead or alive, 100 gold pieces for each one of our heads. They're
Only 100?
Yeah, I feel like I'm worth way more than that.
100 gold is not a lot of money to you? What the hell?
I'm several
Kelly's
centuries
also
old.
looking at him like, what the fuck?
You could sell me for more than that.
Guys is just rubbing his temples, but then casually says, adventuring life gets you money.
Alright. I'm just gonna happen. It's like a pebble hits each one of your guys' heads with enough force to like dink it significantly as well. Says, not time for this.
Agreed, let's get moving. Just grabs all
There's
his
a back door that we can take to get out of here. As Oppo's like, I just want to keep sleeping. As the Cyclone picks up Oppo and throws him over his shoulder. Sorry, buddy. You can sleep another time. Sleep on my shoulder if you have to, but I'm not letting you get killed. Thank you.
Where are we leaving to?
Shit, I don't even know where we go to from here. We can't go to the port. Cyclone, did you hear back from the person yet? I haven't gotten a message back from him. I'm still waiting. It can take a while.
Do you know another safe place?
Yes, I do, but I'm not certain if we can trust him or not. This fella grabs him by the shoulders. I don't care if you think you can or can't trust him. If you think you can slightly trust him, that's better than whoever is waiting for us outside, who absolutely is going to take our heads off and kill us.
Do you trust that we
He has
can
a
kick
point.
his ass if he isn't trustworthy?
I'm not confident in that either. He's a powerful artificer and wizard. Fuck goddamn shit.
Ah! Look,
Let's go to your mom's.
Yeah. Please, you mom. Be good. Please be good. Please don't be betraying us.
I'll settle for neutral.
I'll settle for neutral too.
yeah.
As Rumpus is like, follow me, as you see him taking like a secret back entrance out of the factory. It's like it's through what used to definitely be a chemical chute pipe. As you guys kind of slowly crawl out and look around. Oh, you gonna do it?
Yeah.
Alright.
That's why I was like, we need a plan so I can do this, not waste time.
Alright, we're going to... As you guys are crawling through the pipe, Rumpus goes, we're going to have to make it all the way to the Inventor's Hall, into your mom's workshop. I'm not sure how confident you guys are in your ability to stealth, but... And then calligraphy.
If we can get there within an hour, we'll be fine. I can
Easily.
do something.
What
Alright, as she...
I'm getting used to my screen, sorry. I guess she pulls out her... Well, she doesn't have to pull it out. She's going to cast Pass Without Trace on the group. It lasts an hour. And she's just going to go, you have to stay within 30 feet of me. But I think we can make it just fine. Oop.
Alright. Would you
Give me a second, sorry.
Would you describe for me how this spell looks when you cast it? That's all I'm asking.
Oh, shoot. This wasn't one I was thinking about earlier. I mean, it's shadows and silence, so the way I imagine it is her inklings kind of just like drip this inky darkness that kind of, I guess it's mimicking kind of the little brain, the black box, what the black box did, but obviously not the same strength.
Okay, I like that.
Is it?
No, it is not rainy anymore. That is the problem. Otherwise, it would have been easier.
Got it.
Alright, so... she cast this spell, radiating shadows and silence as her inklings kind of facilitate this. So, yes, everyone should roll me a stealth check.
With plus 10 because of the spell.
Yeah,
right?
with plus 10.
There you go. There's my result.
34.
Woo!
So that's a 25.
That is a 17.
17.
That's still really good.
Yeah.
Shush, guys, Pip. I need to roll for Rumpus.
That's a 21.
21.
21? 21?
21.
And then for Rufio,
That's a
16. The Cyclone. That's a 31.
31.
And here's Svella. This is not a skill she is proficient in.
That's a
23.
23.
And then last is Oppo.
Wait, Oppo's being carried, right?
He's still...
He still has to. Okay.
Yeah. As a matter of fact,
But
thank you for
sound-
saying that. Disadvantage.
But he's being carried.
He has disadvantage.
We have to figure out how quietly he snores.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Cover him like a baby. No, that's still 15.
It's still 15, and that's the sad part. Fucking spell is powerful. Alright. So, snoring like a baby, but thanks to the Inklings doing their thing and some stuff, you guys sneak around as you see what looks like a small angry mob of thugs, thieves, and even a couple of guards standing outside the front of the factory. As it's like Rumpus gives this look over to the rest of you guys like, holy shit. As it takes about 15 minutes, obviously, as Guys is already aware, it takes about 15 minutes by foot. But you get your way over to the Inventor's Hall and to where your mom's Broadcraft's. I'm just gonna call him Broadcraft because that's easier for me.
I could make it take 7 minutes.
Do you really? Wait, you guys are perfectly stealthed.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, no, it takes 7 minutes. Fuck it.
Get to your moms.
Yep. Alright, so with Pip actually taking the lead, you guys find your way to Broadcraft's workshop. A little bit in 7 minutes, as you guys sneak up the stairway, as Rumpus just immediately hand waves, just like, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. I do this to him all the time. As you guys find him working with a few apprentices inside his workshop, as they're like asking him general questions like, hey, how should I do this? As he seems very annoyed, even though it's like first thing in the morning, he's got a cup of coffee next to him and just like, as Rumpus says, can you like end the spell on me so I can go talk to him, or like, is there something I can do? Like, is there a way? He doesn't know that. That's why he's asking.
You can just walk out of range. We'll stay back.
Oh. As he walks out of range of the spell, and the people in the other apprentices in the shop look at him for a moment, as they're just like, aren't you? As he's like, if you say anything, Broadcraft turns around and is just like, Rumpus, what are you doing here? It's a bit too early in the morning. Oh, I see you haven't heard the news yet about what's going on. He raises a finger. No, I've been working on a project in my lab the entire night. What's happened? As Rumpus briefly fills him in with a few of the details, as Broadcraft kind of just, oh, that's bad. Rumpus, what have you done? What have I done? Mother... Fuck. As pretty much the entire night's worth of frustration comes out in a string of curse words.
Good thing we're not in a temple.
Ass shit, lick balls, cut, fucker! As he stops. You had a bad night. You've had a bad night, I see.
I've learned so many words today.
So what do you want me to do? Can you help me and my friends?
Emmy.
As he takes a moment before he points to his apprentices, as he's like, I want you to leave for today. You can come back later if you want to, I don't care. But Rumpus was not here. And if you say Rumpus was here, you'll pay for it. They get this look of worry on their face, and they're like, nod their heads and run out of the room. As Yamorn looks around the rest of the room, so where are these other friends of yours?
And quick perception check before I drop it.
There's no one else in the room.
Then I'll drop it.
Alright. Callie drops concentration on the spells. You guys come to the side. As he kind of jumps a bit, he's like, ugh.
Ta-da!
Okay. It's a lot of you.
Cheers.
Sorry to bother you.
So I've got the brief of what's going on here. Let's leave my workshop and head to my tower, shall we? As he points to a door that clearly leads off to another section.
Good. I don't want to go back outside. I'm not casting it again.
As you guys go to this tower, to what clearly is a private room of side projects that are not even close to complete yet. As it's not the most well lit room, like dim light. As he's like, okay, so what actually is going on here? Because I'm very confused. People are after you, trying to kill you. You've pissed off the Gwyngram monarchy. What happened to cause this to happen?
I think it'd be pertinent to hand over the letter to him.
Yep. There you go.
That's what I was gonna say. Yes.
Handing that over.
You hand him a letter as it takes him less than 10 seconds to do it. He crumples the paper in his hand. That bitch. As Rumpus looks surprised. You never swear. This is an exception today. I have to get you out of here. Now. You're not safe here anymore.
Shaking head.
Callie's gonna cringe. Who?
When you ask him who, he looks at Rumpus and he's like, I can't say. As Rumpus grabs him. You motherfucker, do you know what I've been through the past 24 hours? And you can't tell me who the other person that my father was talking to? At this point, you know who it is! I deserve to know! If I told you, it would only hurt you more. And I think you already know who it is. As Rumpus shakes his head. Now. As Broadcraft puts a hand on his shoulder as he says, they may have divorced, but your father still believed that they could be friends. And I know it's painful to accept. He blinks as he's like, but the other confidant for your father was your mother. And she sold him out. And this is where Rumpus goes from angry to just crumples. As Svella comes up behind him and just like, does her best to catch him. As she looks at Broadcraft, you didn't have to tell him. It's his right to know. And I can't think of a situation where he shouldn't know. Last thing I want him to do is think he can go to his mother for safety when she might sell him out too. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna put it in the sidebar.
Okay. Now, as for how to get you out of here, that's the risky part. Given the person that you have upset, if I'm to believe you correctly, you won't be able to get out of here by sandboat. Hell, you probably wouldn't. You'd be lucky if you made it all the way to the dock district. But he says, but if there is something I can try, I need 15 minutes. And I might be able to get it done. I need you. You can wait here while I go retrieve it. Okay? Understand? Don't break anything. As he leaves you guys here, as Rumpus is like, Pip, come here.
Work to keep your mind off it.
Yes, please. Anything.
I can't. You got it. You got it. Yep. He just kneels down to get. You need me on my back. You need me on the front. Like, I'll do whatever.
However you want to lay down. Just anything. So I don't think about this.
Yep.
My mom sold out my dad. My mom sold out my dad. That fucking whore.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll share some pain. And then Pip will actually will start telling him a little bit about the ruins that we delved into while he works, and all the shit we found there.
All right. Pip, you now have access to a magical item. It is an attunement item. It is called Dampening Field. I will tell you how it works after session.
Okay. And does it go in problem-free? Is this good? Or
It does go in problem-free. Rumpus is 1000%. I'm focusing on this so I don't have to think about the other thoughts.
And Shush said it's fine, so it's fine.
Yep.
It's probably fine.
It's probably fine. It should be okay. Alrighty. After the 15 minutes have passed, Broadcraft returns back. He's like, "All right, it should be set up. I just need you to follow me. I actually can't transport it, but it should be. Hopefully, should work." He says as he kind of seems nervous about that.
Head tilt.
"Don't worry about it," he says with a nervous smile.
I've heard that phrase 7 times in
Insight.
the last day.
That's for me.
You got a skull in your bag, too.
Callie immediately, "Insight! Fucking..."
Okay, look. She doesn't know this person. She doesn't know if she can trust them to not be just sending them to their hell. 19.
You can tell his concern is... there's a legitimate concern behind him. He does want to help you guys, but he is concerned about the nature of will this or will this not work. That is what this is.
As opposed to being nervous because we're going somewhere we don't want to be going right now. Got it.
Eventually, he brings you to a room where you guys have seen this before. You've seen a device similar to this. You remember the teleportation circles that you guys had to step in order to teleport from... damn it, I'm forgetting that. Retbon to Gwyngram?
Yeah.
It's one of those.
So it's to make our tummies.
But
feel
does it
funny.
look sort of shoddy?
It looks like it's not properly built yet. As he's like, "So, I was requested by," and I need to get this name up proper. There we go. Baron Valros, Baron Zibblefop had requested that I do pretty much what we wizards do to make a lot of money. To make him a personal teleportation gate should something bad happen so that he can go somewhere else. It's more common than you think. A lot of nobles have these. The thing is, it takes a year for us to properly attune a teleport gate to the teleportation system. And I've only been working on this for about 6 months. That being said, if I can reattune this from where I was going to align it to be, which was a teleportation gate from his estate to Gwymgran, and I can set the location to someplace else, if you have a place in mind. It doesn't have to be another teleportation circle, it just has to be a location that I can change this place to teleport you to. So do you know a place that's safe for you? A place that's safe and far away from here.
Brain. I'm having a problem here. Remember.
Well, straight to Adam or Dog's office, right?
How far away? I can't remember. Did we overhear guys talking about the valley? It was like a.
Well, here's the
water
thing.
cooler. people were
I'm
close,
sorry,
but-
there is a caveat. It does have to be a place you've been to before. You have to be able to visualize where you're going.
Can't be that. Can't be that building that fell.
It did fall down.
How?
I don't want to go
Can
to
we
home
get to
sweet home because that's underground.
Hmm?
Can we get to Aduna?
Aduna. That small village, it should work. I can set it to Aduna.
Mhm.
Is that okay with you guys? As fellow just like, any place that's not here. Because the only place I can think of that's not here is in the Underdark, and that's not safer.
Aduna works.
It's
but not
pretty far
everyone
away. We
is
have
there.
friends there. We're even local heroes. For now.
Perfect. All right, I will get the coordinates set. Then you'll have to use the gate one at a time. Once again, it's not sorry, wrong voice. Once again, it's not properly set up, so one at a time, because it's not set up in order to transport multiple people yet.
Okay, well, if Spella and Rumpus haven't been to Aduna, they wouldn't be able to go to the same place, right?
It's the circle itself that's set to it, not your
Yes.
brain.
Oh, okay. I just
So
meant the
we
focus.
tell him where it is.
Gotcha.
All right
And if
then.
nothing else, I'm good at maps, and so if like there has to be like an actual coordinates, then that's easy enough.
Yes. And he's like, all right, coordinates are at Aduna. This is okay for you?
Mhm.
All
She
right.
looks, yeah.
Better than
Allie
here.
looks at everyone else because she definitely doesn't want to go back to Retbon.
Yeah. All right, who wants to be the first volunteer? As
I'll go.
actually, you all know who raises their hand first? Rumpus.
That's fair.
I'm willing to test this out to make sure it works first.
Wait. Wait. How will we actually know it works unless he's able to come back and tell us?
He looks at Rumpus looks at Broadcraft as he shrugs his shoulders. We'll just
Don't
have
worry about. Got it.
you'll have to trust.
Guys would tilt his head. You do have sending, right?
Oh yes,
What's the
absolutely.
range on it?
Oh, sending is anywhere on the material plane,
Someone you know.
and someone who I know, and well, I do know Rumpus. He says with a smile. As Rumpus says, one thing before I go. As he gives Broadcraft a hug. Thank you. Whenever my father wasn't around, you were the only other person who helped take care of me. I never knew if you cared for me or not. And that's not a failing on your part, that's just me. So you didn't have to do this, but as Broadcraft puts a hand on his shoulder, as he's like, I took it as my responsibility to help raise you when I saw that when Rufus was struggling. As far as I'm concerned, I don't want to get sentimental, but you're important to me. If that's okay to say. He gives a nod, and he's like, I'll send a sending to you when you to see if you've arrived safely in Aduna. Alright. Well, Rumpus steps onto the platform as he gives a salute. I'll see you guys on the other side. As there is a flash of light. And then he disappears. A sending message is sent. As Broadcraft turns to you, he seems he made it safely. All right, who's next? As Svella just barges forward, I'm next.
Not surprised.
Okay. And she is teleported. And next is, we'll take care of the NPCs first.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Next is Cyclone, followed by Oppo. As Oppo looks at guys, I'll see you when you arrive in Aduna as well. And hopefully we can get in contact with this Atom.
He nods.
As Oppo disappears. As Broadcast says, alright, well, that's the last of the natives here. Who's going to be the first of you guys to try to try it out?
I'll go.
Is that like Bio said something?
Yep. Guy
go.
said he'll go.
Okay.
Alright. Guys, you step on the teleportation circle, which is like, it's that kind of crystal-looking platform thing. As the runic circles on it glow, and there's a flash of light, and guys, passive perception for me.
20.
Thank you. As you begin to feel yourself kind of dissipate, the bright light overcoming you, you hear a cracking sound. And you disappear. And we'll get to that in a little bit.
Oh boy.
As Broadcraft says, alright, who's next?
Well, I guess that's me. I go where Gaius goes, so.
Alright, you step on the teleportation circle as well. And
He's gonna cover his eyes this time.
Yeah.
with the cloak.
Alright. And you are teleported as well. Alright, Calligraphy, you are next.
Mm-hmm.
As you are also teleported. And Shosh.
I like how I said I was going to go first and I wound up going last. I'm just pointing that out here.
I
Not that
apologize.
you care.
I apologize for that. I don't think I caught your name, nor do I think I should know it, because that could make things bad for you.
Shh.
Indeed. The worst one is a perfect interpretation!
Shush just smiles at himself so big as he stands on the pod.
And you are teleported as well. And now we get to the other end of that. Gaius?
Mm-hmm.
You are falling. You are 60 feet in the air and falling.
That's fun.
And all you see below you is desert sand. I'm going to ask you to roll an athletics check.
Oh boy, one of my best.
Alright?
At least 10.
You will take this much damage. Alright, so guys, you find yourself falling from the sky, and you can roleplay that even if you want, as you land into the sand with a heavy thunk.
God damn it, mother genocide!
Pip!
Yeah.
You are falling. And beneath you, you see a familiar form of a dragonborn wearing armor, who's currently swearing. May you roll me in athletics.
He's just gonna shout, like, through cupped hands, roll!
Just pulling his fucking face out of the sand. Think!
Oh, that's a pass. Alright, you will take this much damage.
Okay.
Calligraphy. Roll me in athletics. Unless you have the ability to fly.
I don't think I have that ability yet. Only horizontally at the moment. Till level, later.
Are you going to tell me you're about to try and pull out your bow and attack to just keep yourself from hitting the ground?
I was tempted to do something. I'm just gonna go for it now. and be in pain, apparently.
Alright, that's...
Works in the Breath of the Wild.
Yep. That is 2d6 damage. 4. Shush! You are falling, and you see the party below you. Roll me in athletics.
What a bad time to be a flightless bird.
Is there any chance to help here, or is it just too quick?
It's too quick to help, but...
But what I am going to do is I'm going to roll onto my back and hold the bag with the skull on it above.
So it doesn't
I'm going to close my eyes, and approximately 30 feet from the ground, I'm going to accidentally cast Misty Step.
That works. If that's the case, then I won't even have you roll the athletics. You just take this much damage from the inertia. Yeah, so slightly less crash. As you guys stand up,
What the shit?
yep, you realize something went wrong. You guys are in the middle of the desert, and there's no Aduna anywhere in sight.
No landmarks either, I presume.
Nope.
And it's just us.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck!
I heard it break as I was in it.
Why didn't you say anything?
Just turns to look at Gush.
Callie's looking at the ground to see how big of a divot he made when he landed, thinking maybe he's just really heavy.
No, I'm dense, not heavy.
Well, given the
There's a
impact in which he hit the ground, it was a pretty heavy strike that he hit with.
Pip seeing Shush holding the bag will lean down to eye level and say in deep speech, "You okay?"
Shush, there is no response this time.
Pip just laughed.
Do you really think he's gonna entertain that with anything?
Look, if he's traveling with us, I gotta have a little bit of banter, right? I can't do anything about it, so I gotta have fun with it.
About that? Banter? Great. Fantastic. 100%. Try not to, with random people we meet on the street, talk about skulls and bags, please?
I want random people we met on the street that are gonna be killed by the matriarchy.
You know what I meant.
So, guys in calligraphy, how are you guys?
Toughen up, Shush.
Just trying to figure out where the fuck we are.
Yeah, that. Where the fuck are we? Wait, where the fuck is everyone else? Wait, they made it safe.
We're in the desert. They're in Aduna.
That is my suspicion as well.
So, with you guys having been teleported by some slight accident, not intentional, mind you, into the middle of a desert, who knows where. That is where we're going to end session for today.
You motherfucker.
Goodbye, everybody. See you.
I don't have any maps prepared for you guys.
See you in 2 weeks, everybody.
Find out if
There could have been a lot more combat than there was.
Yeah. See you guys. In 2
We
weeks.
did the right things. It's fine.
And you punished us.
Goodbye.